Polls open in Wisconsin, where Ted Cruz has taken the lead in recent polls. Possible fallout from Donald Trump's latest controversies, including remarks on abortion. Wife Melania campaigning with him yesterday.
He's a fighter, and if you elect him to be your president, he will fight for you and for our country.
John Kasich under increasing pressure from Trump and Cruz to drop out, but his goal remains a contested convention.
And the delegates are going to decide who can win in the fall. I'm the only candidate that wins all the polls against Hillary Clinton.
Fox's Mike Tobin is in Wauwatosa.
Wisconsin is a winner-take-most state with 18 at-large delegates that get dedicated to the statewide winner, then 3 delegates from each of the congressional districts, bringing you to a total of 42.
For the Democrats, Bernie Sanders hoping to add to a string of recent wins. Hillary Clinton with a big lead in delegates, already focusing on her home state primary in New York 2 weeks from today. The so-called Panama Papers touching off tax evasion investigations around the world. Fox Radio's Simon Owen, live in our European bureau.
Lisa, inquiries beginning in France, Australia, New Zealand and Sweden, among others. Documents leaked from a law firm in Panama apparently detailing how rich and powerful people conceal their wealth, including a dozen world leaders. Russia dismissing an apparent link to President Putin. In China, social media searches are being restricted to shut down discussions about relatives of President Xi Jinping, whose names also appear. And here in London, the British Prime Minister's late father is mentioned. David Cameron's office calling that a private matter. Lisa?
Thanks, Simon. Villanova wins the men's college basketball championship with a buzzer-beating tiebreaker.
3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
On TBS, first NCAA title for the Wildcats since 1985. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
This morning we have mostly clear skies and 30 degrees at 5:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Authorities say a person killed, several hurt when a train struck a car at a suburban Chicago railway crossing. Skokie police releasing a statement late on Monday saying firefighters extricated 2 from that mangled car following that late morning accident. CTA spokesman Jeff Tolman says investigators believe that vehicle drove through a grade crossing before the collision. Police are investigating after a 17-year-old boy was found shot to death near a Blue Line stop on the northwest side. Police say the teen was discovered yesterday behind a Taco Burrito King at Harlem and Higgins Avenues. A Chicago man headed to prison after killing a cab driver in Evanston. Darian Connerly was sentenced to 35 years for the murder of Leotis Blackburn. Chicago alderman says Mayor Rahm Emanuel's staff is briefing the city council about his recommendation to settle for $4.9 million of federal lawsuit brought by the family of a man who died after police subdued him with a stun gun and dragged him from his jail cell. Meetings followed the December release of a video of the 2012 incident involving 38-year-old Philip Coleman. A group of Cook County political leaders and police officials say the way to defeat gang violence is with more of your tax dollars. David Stewart says the plan would have Cook County drivers foot the bill.
Cook County Commissioner Richard Boykins, the sponsor of a bill to raise the county's gasoline tax to generate money for a jobs program for teens and young adults.
We are in a state of emergency. Let's give our children hope, because nothing stops a bullet like a job.
Boykins says his 4-cent a gallon increase would generate about $50 million. $45 million would be to create jobs and $2 million would be used to hire more officers for high crime areas. The plan does have the support of Sheriff Tom Dart and the Urban League. David Stewart, Chicago.
Fire chief says 34 families have been displaced with a major blaze at an apartment complex in northwest Indiana. Maryville Fire Chief Ed Yurga says firefighters rescued 3 members of a family from a third-floor balcony, but no serious injuries were reported in the blaze at the Lakes complex along US 30. Without reminders from the Secretary of State's office in Springfield, more and more Illinois vehicle owners are forgetting to renew their license plates on time, and it's creating quite a windfall for the state. So far, people have paid nearly $5 million this year in late fees, more than double the amount collected in the first 3 months of last year. Chicago sports. Major League Baseball's opening day found the White Sox winners over Oakland 4-3. Chris Sales striking out 8. Cubs blank the Angels 9-0. Jake Arrieta yielding just 2 hits over 7 innings of work. The news service of InvisibleFence.com. Protect your pets with Invisible Fence brand. Keep them in the yard, away from the pool, and off the furniture. Invisible Fence brand has the answer to training your pets at InvisibleFence.com. Invisible Fence brand can install in any weather, rain or shine. Visit InvisibleFence.com. 5:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I believe what we need in America today is more love and kindness.
The Joe Walsh Show.
We've had so much love and kindness. We have been like parents who have indulged our kids. Parents who've never said no. Parents who've never set a curfew. We don't need love and kindness. This country needs a kick in the butt.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you know color is vital to your health? I'm talking about the color of the food you eat. A colorful diet is a part of staying well because many nutrients are color. Eating a wide variety of fruits and vegetables provides your body with the diverse chemistry it needs to heal itself and stay well.
Now ask yourself, how many servings of fruits and vegetables did I eat today? Balance of Nature has solved this problem and provides an easy and affordable way to consume over 10 servings of 31 different whole fruits and vegetables every day.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients.
Good health is just a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Call now and take the health challenge to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
5:07. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Reporting on the Adams Tollway eastbound. Traffic is stop and go from the Des Plaines Oasis to Lee. This is because things are backed up. It's been a construction-related incident affecting Toohey Avenue. There are lane closures on Toohey between Wolf and Lee. So you want to avoid that area if you can. There have been full closures of Toohey at times in the last hour and a half. Part of this is due to ongoing construction in that area as well. And this is again causing a backup on the Adams Tollway from the Des Plaines Oasis to Lee Street. Elsewhere on the expressways and tollways, things look pretty good right now. There is a fire in Bensonville, an industrial area. This is on Eastern Avenue, not far from Devon, east of 83. Traffic is a service of Jewel Osco. Your local Jewel Osco has great produce finds for 99 cents. Get red seedless grapes or organic red peppers for 99 cents a pound. You'll also save on the 1-pound package of fresh sweet strawberries, only 99 cents. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. 80 years of quality mechanical solutions for your business. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Clouds thickening today with a high of 45. Then for tonight, it will be breezy with occasional rain. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour with a low tonight of 39. Windy with showers tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 26 at O'Hare, 32 along the lakefront. Next News 5:30 and Chicago's Morning Answer starts next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio. Heard Sundays at 2 p.m. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Deborah Rowe in for Dan and Amy, who are in Cabo with the rest of the station. We've taken over the station. We had this coup, turning it into an Air America liberal format with disco music. That's not disco music, is it, though? Deb?
No, that's not disco. That's not disco.
We will hear from Dan and Amy throughout the show this morning as they are Although I understand, I saw a picture yesterday on Twitter where Dan apparently was explaining flat taxes while he was drinking, and it was very
in Mexico,
and it was very amusing. Apparently, flat taxes are amusing while you're drinking. So actually, when I went to bed last night, the last thing was Dan, when we used to work together, would tuck me in every night. So last night he tucked me in with a tweet because I was trying to watch the NCAA championship game, and I don't know how you were yesterday, but after this show, with this morning shift,
it was,
I was like,
very, very difficult just getting home. Yeah. It was really hard. But before we go any further, you are already slacking on the job.
What did I do?
It's what you didn't do.
Wait, today, this is WIND, AM 560, The Answer.
I
didn't make you your coffee.
Song. You didn't start with a song.
Oh, you're not supposed to sing?
You didn't start.
I didn't realize that yeah.
Disco Inferno.
Come on, baby, burn, baby, burn. Oh, yeah.
He actually does that in the song.
Looky here. Oh, yeah.
Whatever that
Put
was you
down.
did.
See, I should be like an alarm clock for people. You could wake up to me like a...
And that's when you smash your alarm clock.
Dave, let's have this bed for the entire show, okay? Bam, baby, burn. Okay.
You mentioned Team America yesterday.
No, not Team America. Team America was a South Park movie.
I know that.
Did you ever see that movie?
And I'm making that point.
Did you ever see the uncut version?
I've made that point.
Did you see it with your children who
No,
were
of course
underage?
not. They've never seen that movie.
DCFS called me up. They arrested me because my 9-year-old daughter was watching the worst puppet porn I have ever seen in my life.
That's so crazy because that movie is how I actually bonded with John Landecker.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
What, by singing I'm So Ronery with him in a duet?
No. We were doing a fill-in for Don and Roma. And we had never met.
A blessed memory.
Yes.
They were so nice. Well, I mean,
memory.
Don Wade was so nice to me.
Oh, my.
And Roma was even nicer. She's kind of hot.
Well, I don't know about all of that, but I do know that Don and Roma were both just beautiful people.
They actually helped resurrect my career because they heard me on a Saturday doing a show, and they said, "Oh, we like this guy," so they let me substitute, and that's how Dan and I think wound up getting together.
They were just beautiful people.
Yeah, like them.
But we were filling in one morning. We had never met. Like you
what
and
does
I were yesterday.
Landecker know about politics? Boogie check, Hillary Clinton.
And he comes up, he introduces himself, and he's kind of looking. He told me, he said, "I don't know anything. I don't know how to do this."
By the way, his daughter, Amy Landecker.
Awesome actress.
Hubba.
Awesome, but she plays some racy parts.
Yeah. All right, let you make your point.
Do that.
Yeah, okay.
Long story short, and it's really short,
Sure.
I guess he was looking for how are we going to get together here on the air. So he says so what's the last movie you've seen? I said, Team America. He nearly fell on the floor. He's like, no way. Did you really see it? I said, yeah, we're Team America.
Oh, yeah.
And he went crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a great movie. I loved it and I hated it.
I love the whole thing because Team America will teach you more about foreign policy than you could get from President Obama yesterday saying, to wit, yesterday, him saying,
Iran so far has followed the letter of the agreement.
Shut up.
But the spirit of the agreement involves Iran also sending signals to the world community and businesses that it is not going to be engaging in a range of provocative actions that might scare business off.
What did you expect, Mr. President? There's all kinds of violations. He wants Iran to become the hegemon in the region. He wants that.
Well,
I don't know why.
He does.
And, when Israel sees ballistic missile tests, I got a feeling that the Israelis, John Bolton, my pal, the former ambassador to the United Nations, I mean, he has said that Israel is going to wind up bombing Iran. And even if they don't, some of these sites where they're making the missiles are impenetrable, you can bomb it well enough so that you kill a lot of the scientists.
Well,
That's what they're going to wind up having to do. And I think, not that I have a pipeline to Netanyahu, but, I am Jewish.
Yeah,
so we all get together and, we meet on the third Sunday of every month and decide how we're going to rule the world.
I read that on the internet.
Absolutely.
All right.
A lot of the Trump supporters.
Stop it.
I may vote for Trump. So here's the thing. But don't tell Kevin Williamson of National Review who's going to be on in the 8 o'clock hour about that, because he'll kill me. He's the greatest Trump basher of all. But I just I think that they may wind up having to bomb Iran.
The president talked about
they're waiting for the next administration to come in and see how that works out.
Yeah, and I think with the exception of Bernie Sanders, they have a good chance with Hillary. They have a good chance with Cruz or Trump. I think only Bernie Sanders would work against them.
Right, because Bernie Sanders, ironically, is a self-loathing Jew. Well, Bernie Sanders got votes from Dearborn, Michigan. The Muslims,
okay, then that says it all.
Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan, voted for Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump.
Well, now, I don't know what they were doing there.
Who the heck knows?
Well, I do know. It's just like the Hispanic vote. Everybody says that Hispanics hate Trump, and then he gets 46% of the Hispanic vote in Nevada. They don't hate Trump.
We got to pause now for station identification, but I wanted you. This will give you time to refresh your recollection about what happened with the NCAAs last night, because I want to talk about Dan's last tweet to me last night, how he figured North Carolina was going to win. Whee!
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And now here's our weather bunny, Deb Rowe.
Well, good morning. Today, thickening clouds, a high of 45, and then tonight, increasing windy. That would be increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder. A high around 56. And Jim Talamonte, good morning to you, sir.
Well, good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Bruce. We have increasing traffic on the eastbound Adams Tollway. It's jamming up in a hurry from Elmhurst Road to Lee. 2 left lanes are blocked. This is due to a construction incident at Toohey and Wolf. And there's a blockage right now of Toohey Avenue between Wolf and Lee, and 2 left lanes blocked on eastbound I-90. So it's a bigger jam starting around Elmhurst Road, and it's growing quickly. Inbound Ryan, just a little heavy approaching downtown. Bishop Ford, a little heavy approaching the merge. The other expressways and tollways are fine. There is an industrial fire in Bensonville. Eastern Avenue, this is just off Devon, well east of 83. Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Every guy dreads the honey-do list, so give yourself a weekend off and check out ChicagoRadioDeals.com for some home improvement help. Hey, how's the air quality in your home? Allergens could be affecting the air you breathe. Well, Royal Home Comfort Services is offering several deals at half off their normal rate to improve the air quality in your home. Purchase a full home air duct cleaning for $195. Now, this deal includes all your ducts and an inspection of your furnace as well. They also have a deal to rid your home ductwork of all unwanted bacteria, including mold, fungi, and algae, by using a natural cleansing agent to keep your family safe and healthy. But wait, there's more. Royal Home Comfort also has a deal to clean and inspect your home dryer vent for only $55. Now, if you want to tackle a project yourself, shop a great local hardware store with personal customer service. Purchase the Addison Building Materials $100 gift certificate for only $50. Addison Building Materials is a true value retailer. For more spring cleaning and home improvement deals, just visit ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
If you're at or nearing retirement, you know the low interest rate environment has changed the rules of retirement. Huge threats also loom that could drastically affect your wealth. You need to guard against the IRS, attorneys, and nursing homes becoming your biggest beneficiaries. The good news is there are strategies to help protect your investment gains in these uncertain economic times. Discover how to do this and much more by attending Retire with Confidence from the Alpha Wealth Group. Tom Fortino, Fox Business contributor and host of the Alpha Wealth Hour, heard Saturdays on AM 560, is hosting this free educational workshop, Retire with Confidence, on Saturday, April 9th in Oak Brook Terrace. To reserve your seat for Retire with Confidence, call the Alpha Wealth Group today at 630-519-4742. Space is limited. This could be the best 60 minutes you invest in your financial future. That's 630-519-4742. 630-519-4742. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
Hey, protecting your family and Second Amendment rights is important. You need the proper equipment and training from DS Arms. As an actual manufacturer of AR-15 and FNFAL type rifles, they also stock all major brands of firearms, including handguns and every accessory imaginable for self-defense, target shooting, and hunting. Ladies, get your concealed carry license plus basic and advanced training in a family-friendly environment with girlfriends, loved ones, even mom. Everything's provided, including a firearm for only $225. For custom rifles made in America or concealed carry firearms training classes, make DS Arms your team. It's great being an American and supporting your Second Amendment rights and American manufacturing jobs. With nearly 3 decades of experience, DS Arms has you covered. DS Arms, much more than a gun store. It's easy to reach in Lake Barrington, just off of Route 14 and Pepper Road. Call 847-277-7260 or visit DSArms.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah. Bruce Wolf. Deb Rowe. In for Dan and Amy. Is
There
this
you go.
disco music?
That's
yeah,
Disco
Quack.
Duck,
It's
isn't
Disco
it?
Duck or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, we've turned it, we staged a coup. We got a whole disco theme as well as liberalism throughout the morning. So the last 2 days, I was saying that Dan puts me to bed every night. He used to when we worked together. And last night he did on Twitter because I had tweeted, I made it through like the first half of the national championship game, North Carolina and Villanova. And I was thinking, North Carolina is hitting all these threes, and they are not a good three-point shooting team, so they're on fire, but I don't think this can last. And he tweeted to me something to the effect of, as long as they're getting all these open looks, they're going to be fine. And he also had tweeted that, they got better length than Villanova, and so, he thought it was in the bag for North Carolina. So, and he was right. Villanova won at the buzzer last night. So.
I was...
He was prescient. Hey, that's the same Dan Proft who on election night in 2012. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, we did the election special and everything. Okay. And he said, Romney with 301 votes. Actually, Megyn Kelly had to drag him and Karl Rove into the, Fox big IBM HAL 9000 computerized prediction machine.
I didn't see the game, but my son, he runs into the living room screaming, "You guys made me miss the best game ever." And I'm thinking it couldn't have been better than Better Call Saul. That's what I was
don't
thinking.
tell me what happened on Better Call Saul last night.
Well,
because I couldn't stay up for that. Hey, if you want to, Deb, since you don't really get to talk with me, you can call in on the Turnkey.pro answer line.
Let me get my cell phone, by the way.
Call in. Hi, this is Deb. Hi, this is Deb. Can I please tell a story here?
Can I make a comment?
312-642-5600. 1 ringy dingy. 2 ringy dingies. 312-642-5600. Or send us a text on the Turnkey.pro text line at 64636. Bruce Wolf and Deb Rowe. So, anyway, I mean, and I feel bad because the Cubs opened. This isn't a sports station.
No, it's
not. The Cubs opened, but they won last night. They left off, they started where they left off last year. I heard one news report. Actually, they didn't because Jake Arrieta looked good. Arrieta looked good last night as opposed to how he had looked right at the end. He had lost it last year toward the end. So they won. And the White Sox, Chris Sale won, but he gave up 3 runs. And I think he's still affected by the incident with Adam LaRoche. Did you follow that thing?
No, and I'm totally mum here because I don't know a darn thing
about
about
that was
baseball.
a national news story. It was a cultural story. Adam LaRoche, the guy with the beard.
Oh, the guy who's such a great dad.
With his son,
Oh,
Drake
yeah.
LaRoche.
Now that I know
Speaking
about.
of disco, his son's name is Drake. Okay, so it keeps with the disco theme of the show. No, I thought the reason that they kicked him out of the clubhouse was because the 14-year-old kid would have been the most mature person in the clubhouse. I mean, they're baseball players, for crying out loud. Yeah, thank you, Hawk.
They spit and they scratch.
And other things. They have blow-up dolls in the locker room. Yeah, in the clubhouse. So enough. So I think we've covered all the sports from last night. And the funny thing is that, do you know that Hillary had offered to debate Bernie Sanders last night while the championship game was going on?
She's a clever girl. She's a clever girl.
Hey, speaking of Hillary, so, there was this controversy, and we touched on it yesterday, but I think on Meet the Press, she had put her foot in her constitutional mouth by talking about abortion. You think Trump is bad. But she was much, much worse.
The unborn person doesn't have constitutional rights. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't do everything we possibly can in the vast majority of instances to, help a mother who is carrying a child.
She sounded a little hoarse there, like she had kind of a deep
throat. Well, she's been sounding that way for about a week or so.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I'd hate for her to lose her voice. So here's the thing. I mean, she referred to the entity in the womb as a person, and persons are protected under the Constitution. So she committed a gaffe that way. I think that Hillary has her own private constitution that she set up in her Chappaqua home, so it doesn't really. These are the jokes, Deb. I mean, if you're not going to react, what are you doing?
I'm just listening because I heard this yesterday. Go on.
No, I didn't say this yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
I said it at 5:17 yesterday. I'm saying it at 5:26 right now.
Go on.
Anyway, the Wisconsin primary is today, and she's expected to lose. They're expecting. She's doing all her campaigning in New York. Bernie's expected to win this. How many states can Bernie win and still be denied the nomination? He keeps winning.
Well, see, I think that's really the big story, and that's the story that mirrors what's happening on the Republican side. Because Trump, now, granted, Cruz may do well in Wisconsin today, but still, if they get down to the convention and Trump is still far ahead in the delegate count and they deny him, full effort to become the nominee.
That would be so Cruz-like. It would be like what Cruz has done, throughout his recent career by trying to shut down the government. He's going to try to shut down the process. But wait, the process allows for that. You got to get a majority. If you don't, then it's up for grabs. So why are you such a Trump apologist? Anyway.
It's not even about being a Trump apologist, but I do really believe that when voters take the time to go out and exercise their right in voting for someone, we should not just ignore a majority of people and how they. So in other words,
it wasn't a majority; it's a plurality, and they don't have a majority of the delegates. Those are the rules.
You are correct. I'm not saying give it to him, but what I am saying is that you can't go and put a Kasich in.
Why can't you? You can put anybody in. It depends how many ballots it goes. Did you ever see the Gore Vidal movie? I think it was called The Best Man.
You can do that. Yes, you can. But there will be repercussions for such
I understand.
things.
There's going to be repercussions either way.
As it'll happen with the Democrats, and that's really what I'm saying.
Well, that's not going to. No, Hillary's going to. I don't see Bernie winding up winning this. Hey, you suggested a story. Apparently, Hollywood is representative of the divide right now.
I think so.
Amongst radicals.
I saw. You remember,
They're now split between Bernie and Hillary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they are. Did you see Margot Kidder? You remember her from Superman?
Sure, absolutely.
She wrote this long piece on why we and people should not vote Hillary. The same thing we see. I think it's Tim Robbins who's come out for Bernie Sanders.
How's Susan Sarandon? Is she on the other side?
Oh my gosh, she says if Hillary
because they
gets
used to
the
go
nomination,
out with each other.
No, she's still saying the same thing as he. If Hillary wins, she will not vote.
She's with Tim Robbins,
yes,
right?
That's right.
Okay, I would go off a cliff with Susan Sarandon like Thelma and Louise any day of the week. No matter what Susan Sarandon said, I would follow her. I don't care.
She's got that new ping pong place here in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to go there. Maybe we'll do a remote in the next half hour from there. It's Bruce Wolf and Deborah in for Dan and Amy.
I know I have some work to do, particularly with young people. Excuse me, just one second.
Oh my God, Mom's choking!
You do talk a lot in this campaign. A lot.
Well, Hillary Clinton thought she had the nomination wrapped up now. She had it wrapped up. Till half the voters in Iowa rebelled and kicked her butt to the curb now. Now she's feeling the burn. This just in New Hampshire, she just lost to that socialist old man now. Now she's feeling and the burn. She'll have fun till Bernie takes the nomination away. Bernie takes the nomination. And we'll have fun till Bernie takes the nomination away. Bernie takes the nomination away. Woo!
Excuse me, just 1 second here.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When did Republicans lose their backbone, their guts, their conviction? Some will say they stood up to Obama. That's easy. But who stood up to their own party? That's Marlin Stutzman. Marlin said no to the establishment by voting against John Boehner. And he fought sweetheart deals on both sides by voting against the omnibus. Because politicians refuse to get it done, Marlin authored the only conservative budget that actually balances. And to keep the Washington crowd from getting cozy, Marlin is fighting for term limits to toss the career politicians out. It's not good enough to just vote for candidates who say they're conservative. We need leaders who have the guts to act like one. Marlin knows when Republicans bend, America breaks. Stand strong, Marlin. Conservative Marlin Stutzman for Senate.
I'm Marlin Stutzman, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Stutzman for Senate.
AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Deb Rowe coming up after the news. Hey, we forgot that yesterday was Hug a News Person Day.
Yes, you did.
So we're gonna. Oh, let's go in there and put a sleeper hold on Mike Scott. He's got the news right now.
Bruce and Deb, good morning. 30 degrees. Right now, clear skies. The political eyes of the nation focused on the Badger State today. Voters heading to the polls for the Republican and Democratic presidential primaries. Cruz and Sanders in the lead, and voters are hours away from heading to those polls where Cruz says he's done with the personal attacks.
The personal attacks, the nastiness, the cursing from Donald. You know, my reaction is, who cares? I don't care what he says anymore. I don't care what he tweets.
Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump, though, keeps pushing his rival John Kasich to drop out of the race.
He's won. How many states are there that we've gone through? Like 30 or 32, whatever it is. He won one, and I would have won that one if I had 2 more days.
Frontrunners Trump and Clinton may have some trouble on their hands today. We'll keep you advised as the polls open in Wisconsin. 5 are dead after a sightseeing helicopter crashed in eastern Tennessee near Pigeon Forge. The FAA has launched an investigation. If you didn't catch the ending of last night's NCAA championship game, Villanova this morning is celebrating their second men's basketball title after Chris Jenkins nailed it down with a three-pointer at the buzzer.
For us to make the adjustments that Coach told us to make, and for us to just go out there and compete, man, we played hard. This team gave it all we had, and today we were just lucky to hit the shot at the end.
Wildcats 77-74 winners over North Carolina. Authorities say one person was killed, several hurt when a train struck a vehicle, and it's a suburban Chicago rail crossing. Skokie police releasing a statement yesterday saying firefighters did have to extricate 2 from that mangled car. Chicago man headed to prison after killing a cab driver in Evanston. Darian Connerly was sentenced to 35 years in the murder of Leotis Blackburn. The FBI and the Chicago police are asking for your help in locating 5 Chicago men accused of running a counterfeit scheme that included sales of phony Bears, Cubs, Bulls, and Blackhawks tickets. And Star Wars fans this morning are mourning the death of the man who voiced Admiral Ackbar. Eric Bowersfeld died Sunday at age 93 in Berkeley, California. He provided the voice of the rebellion's top military commander in 1983 in Return of the Jedi. It's a Trap has become one of the most popular internet memes to date. Chicago sports, White Sox over Oakland 4-3. Chris Sale struck out 8. Jake Arrieta solid in the Cubs' 9-0 opening day win over the Angels. The news a service of InvisibleFence.com. Protect your pets with Invisible Fence brand. Keep them in the yard, away from the pool, and off the furniture. Invisible Fence brand has the answer to training your pets at InvisibleFence.com. Invisible Fence brand can install in any weather, rain or shine. Visit InvisibleFence.com. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The battle for the Republican nomination is racing towards the convention this summer in Cleveland.
Nobody is going to have enough delegates. We are going to go to a convention. It's going to be open.
Can Trump be stopped?
The only campaign that has beaten Donald Trump and the only campaign that can beat Donald Trump is this campaign.
Will there be a third-party run?
Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud.
What happens next?
We should make it pretty easily based on what I'm seeing.
Happens here.
So we won't have to worry about fighting at a convention.
This is AM 560. The Answer.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to drill down and talk about the big ideas behind the big issues. That's where Upstream Ideas comes in. Upstream Ideas, online at upstream-ideas.com, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted orthodoxies. In other words, Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now to upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to spur you on to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit more free, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee. Period.
Hi, folks. Joe Walsh here. I recently visited Precision Payroll of America in Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois. I'll tell you, I've been hearing Tom's ads for years, and to meet his team and spend a little time with them, I realized why their clients and employees stay together so long. I also didn't realize what great services they offer. Payroll processing, tax filing, time and attendance, and human resource consulting. Boy, we could all use help there with all these new and yet to be introduced regulations, from healthcare to full-time equivalency. Precision Payroll of America has the right services and the right approach to help companies navigate these crazy times. For a service provider you can relate to and will look out for your best interests, call Tom at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Also, visit precisionpayroll.com, but then pick up the phone and call Tom. He is sure to deliver great value and even better service.
5:37. Let's get an update on the roads at our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. If you normally take the eastbound Adams Tollway, I-90 to get to the Tri-State or to the Kennedy, you'll want to consider an alternate, certainly in the next little while at least, because there's been a construction incident. Actually happened about 2 hours ago. We're starting to get more details. Happened near Toohey and Wolf, and this has Toohey Avenue closed between Wolf and Lee. 2 left lanes are blocked on the eastbound Adams Tollway near Lee Street. We're seeing a big backup now, starting around Bussey. So huge delays there, starting around Bussey, continuing to Lee Street on the eastbound Adams Tollway. There are injuries after a beam fell on some construction workers, again at Toohey and Wolf. Southwest side of Chicago, there's a crash, 35th and Ashland. Elsewhere in the expressways and tollways, things are mainly routine. The inbound Ryan has about a 3-minute delay from Cermak into downtown. Bishop Ford, a 2-minute delay from 103rd to the merge. Traffic is a service of GoToMeeting. Be a meeting MVP. GoToMeeting is the online meeting tool that lets you easily collaborate and present from anywhere with one click, so you always put on your best performance. Step up your meeting game and start your free trial at GoToMeeting.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Clouds thickening with a high of 45. Increasingly windy with occasional rain overnight, a low of 40. Currently 27 degrees at O'Hare. Next news at 6. And with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Bruce Wolf and Deborah Rowe on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, one of Chicagoland's most respected names in retirement planning. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for information.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues right now. And make sure to join me, Sean Hannity, this afternoon starting at 2, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah, Bruce Wolf and Deb Rowe. We've staged a coup here while Dan and Amy are in Cabo, and we're turning it into an Air America liberal station, so I don't know what Sean Hannity's talking about. And we're playing a little disco music through...
Which is one of my favorite genres. That's not me singing either. That's Bruce.
Yeah. Did you see Grease live?
No.
Oh, my God. I'm sure that Dan talked about it because he's a big Broadway show guy.
I am, too.
No. It was the most amazing spectacle I've seen on television.
Is it?
I don't know how they did a live Broadway show that way. I mean, I saw The Sound of Music, and especially when, who was it? Was it Kelly Clarkson or that played
I don't know,
the lead role in that? And that was on NBC, though, but it was, a very confined stage, and she actually tripped over, on the mountain.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning. The hills, oops. All right, but this was unbelievable. The precision, and they were taking the actors in trolleys to different areas of the numerous sets that they had. Unbelievable stuff. I know what it's like to work on television, where you try to get a person, talent they call them, to shift their face, his or her face, from camera 1 to camera 2. It was just amazing.
It would be even better, I bet, if it were like on ice. No, it really would. It would be really better.
Grease on ice.
Yes.
It's not slick enough that it's grease. It's got to be ice. All right.
On ice. That's right.
Great. Deb, you are really thinking outside the box. By the way, we missed a couple of things. We mentioned that yesterday was Hug a News Person Day.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to hug
I
Mike
gave
Scott.
them a little pat on the back.
There you go. Well, that's because that was your version of the Heimlich maneuver. The other thing was that yesterday was the 48th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King. And I just wonder that... Now,
wow.
Oh, yeah. April the 4th, 1968. You know why I remember that?
Why?
My father owned a hardware store at 3905 West 16th Street. It was looted. And we were in our home in Skokie, in our basement, which wasn't flooding that day for a change.
Wow.
And we were there with another family that also had a store there. Okay. See, I'm trying to elicit sympathy from a black woman now for the travails I went through on the day that Martin Luther King. I mean, this is the ultimate chutzpah that I'm trying to do this. Okay.
Go ahead.
This is like a great moment for me. So we called up the hardware store while the rioting was going on. We were all, in our basement, and a looter answered the phone and just left the receiver dangling. I don't know why somebody answered the phone, and we heard the looting of the store. We heard it. We heard the store being destroyed. And the thing was that we were all, because it's a very Jewish thing to do, joking about it and laughing because, humor gets us through. Yeah.
I thought you were going
So it
to
was all
say
about
something
us.
like they picked up the phone. What the hell you want? But
Exactly.
you didn't do that.
No, we called up and said, could you get us do you have this size plunger, by the way, and could you deliver it? Take the Douglas Park L, and then,
But that had to be just heart-wrenching to know that.
Right, it's all about me. So
I know this already.
The assassination.
And I'm feeding into that.
Right.
It had to be heart-wrenching.
Why are you being so obsequious? You're supposed to say, now you listen here. You listen here. I'm trying to get my Flip Wilson Geraldine voice now, and I can't really channel it. You listen here. That is about Martin Luther King. There's no Ira Wolf Drive on the west side of Chicago. There is Martin Luther King on the south side.
And
You don't.
see, I don't, because there's
Why?
also, I don't do that voice.
Okay.
I don't do the, I'm going to roll my head and shake my, and pop my finger while I talk to you.
It kind of
Sorry.
reminds me of when I worked with Tamron Hall. Do you remember her? From? And she, all of a sudden, she would become a black woman. She would be this,
stereotypical black
She
woman.
would
Go
She
ahead.
would be this, newscaster and everything like that. Then all of a sudden, it would be like, kind of like Hillary, where she adopts the accent.
Whatever she says.
I don't feel no ways tired.
Right.
Yeah.
I come too far
Yeah.
from where I started from.
Okay, Hillary, give us, we know that you're trying to be Blanche Dubois in A Streetcar Named Desire.
Mm-hmm.
I've always depended on the kindness of strangers.
But you know what? Who else does that? President Obama does that.
Oh, sure. When he mentions folks.
And not just that. He'll go like in front of a black audience. He'll say like, well, y'all know that, I've been, blah, blah, blah. Hey.
I am so
and Sam
in
Jackson,
love with you.
Oh, he did that beautifully.
Like, who doesn't do Al Green?
No.
Everybody, you can do Al Green.
I can't. Not like he did it. He did it really well.
He's fantastic.
He did it well.
He did it. I remember when he did it in the...
Hey.
Oh, yeah. I remember singing this in the 57th state. Oh,
Now
yeah. In front of the...
You're sounding like Shelley Hack more than anything else.
Shelley Hack?
No, not Shelley Hack. What was that guy's name?
Sounds like... Let's play charades now. It's charades on the radio are fantastic. Sounds like...
I didn't mean Shelley Hack. What was that?
Buddy Hackett?
Buddy Hackett.
That
Not
sounds
Buddy
like Buddy
Hackett.
Hackett.
Not Buddy Hackett either.
Shelley Long.
No.
Cheers.
I'll come up with it later.
No, fine, because, we can stop the show right now and do that. And, it's because it's all taped. And then we edit it together. Dave Stripling does a wonderful job there. It takes the edits out.
He's a jackass.
Yeah. Is it time to break, Dave?
Yeah, because you keep throwing me off. You keep looking at him.
We got to do some more Hillary bashing and Obama bashing on the 8s. We're not news radio with the traffic. We're Obama bashing on the 8s on AM 560. The Answer.
The narcissism index is creeping up a little too high.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
All right, now for a trek. The trekking we'll get with Jim Talamonte, but now for the weather, here's Deb Rowe.
All right, today we have thickening clouds, a high of 45. Tonight, increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder, a high of 56, low tomorrow night, 35. Hey, Jim Talamonte, what's happening?
Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Bruce. Big problems. What we have on the eastbound Adams Tollway and in Des Plaines, there's been a construction incident involving a beam falling on some workers. There are injuries. This at Toohey and Wolf Road, that is, and Toohey is blocked off between Wolf and Lee until further notice. Also, because of this, 2 left lanes are blocked on the eastbound Adams Tollway at Lee, and it is jammed solid from Arlington Heights Road to Lee Street. Consider an alternate, find one, because anything past Arlington Heights Road, traffic is hardly moving at all. The inbound Eisenhower has a brief delay from Manheim to 1st Avenue, 32 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. Stevenson just a little sluggish between Cicero and Kedzie. Ryan has delays, 95th to 75th, then from Cermak into the Burn Circle. 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, it's a 2-minute delay approaching the merge. Edens, Kennedy still fine. Aside from the Adams Tollway, the other tollways right now are fine. Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Business moves at the speed of trust. Trust in your product, and just as imperative, trust in those that represent your business. For almost 3 decades, Flex Execs has assisted their clients in becoming more competitive by identifying the right talent for interim assignments or special projects at the mid to senior level. Flex Execs' roster of talent is superior and unmatched. Flex Execs will help you meet your deadlines, goals, control cost, and place the right people who will deliver desired results. Business moves at the speed of trust. Trust the people that represent your business. You can't afford not to. Connect online with Flex Execs at flexexecs.com or call 630-655-0563 and ask for Chris Swanson or Karen Murphy. Flex Execs, moving business at the speed of trust. Call 630-655-0563 or visit them online at flexexecs.com.
Deciding to take charge of your smile and overcome fear or embarrassment is an important moment. Deciding on who to trust to help you through that process can be life-changing. Sure, you can see who's in your insurance plan or go to the local dentist in your neighborhood, but you and your smile deserve a skilled and experienced dentist with a proven track record. That's why Artistic Dentistry should be your first and only call at 708-301-6060. With more than 30 years of combined experience, experience, Dr. Akrush and his team at Artistic Dentistry understands that each patient's needs are different, and they'll customize a plan that's just for you. Their state-of-the-art facility addresses all your dental needs in one location. From Zoom whitening and regular dental checkups to customized dental implants, Artistic Dentistry can give you the smile you've always wanted. Ask about their free Whitening for Life program. Schedule a free consultation today at 708-301-6060 or donewithdentures.com.
There once was a boy wizard whose name was Larry Smarter.
Larry, why weren't you in Professor Dinky Doodle's mythical creature classification class? Well, I'm taking Algebra 2 in a foreign language. Oh, so you can talk to unicorns? Not exactly, unless they're French.
Larry wanted to go to college, so he visited knowhowtogo.org to find the classes he really needed. Getting into college doesn't happen magically. Learn more at knowhowtogo.org.
Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
Mike Rowe here for 1 hour. Today, Chuck is jogging in place to make a point about energy efficiency.
I thought I was training for a marathon.
He's been at it now for...
3 minutes.
And already he's wearing out.
I'm not.
Your heating and air conditioning systems are a lot like Chuck.
Warm yet somehow cool.
Wheezing, wasting energy, and probably headed for replacement.
You're talking about the air systems, right?
Sure, pal. Sure. Call 1 hour before it's too late.
Can you do the disclaimer for me?
Each independent franchise is licensed in its respective state or county.
Thanks.
AM 560, The Answer.
Brucey Wolf, and Deborah. The Morning Show brought to you by Salerno Butter Cookies. Thank you. Thank you, Biff. Dan and Amy will be hearing from them in the next hour. They're in Cabo. The entire station's in Cabo.
On the beach. I'm looking at this list, Bruce, of all of the celebrities that are lining up for Bernie Sanders. It's pretty impressive. I mean, Hillary has her fair share as well.
Like Lena Dunham of Girls.
I've heard about Girls. I don't know Girls.
You, girlfriend, I got to tell you, you are really not into the mass cult. Are you like me? Dan used to make fun of me that I didn't know a reference from after 1970. Didn't. He also didn't like the Beatles.
Oh, he didn't?
No. No. Like Homer Simpson, I mean, Paul McCartney was his favorite wing. But go ahead. Right. Okay. Oh, you laugh at the Simpsons jokes. Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. But anyways,
so who
I'm
are the
looking
celebrities?
here. Yeah, some of the celebrities for Bernie Sanders includes Will Ferrell. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
He was for Bernie Sanders, but I think yesterday he jumped over to
Hillary. Side?
Yeah, I
and
think so.
on what basis?
I don't
did
know.
Will Ferrell do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Mark Ruffalo, Danny DeVito, the Red Hot.
Who are these?
Sanders. These are all Sanders.
Red Hot
people.
Chili Peppers?
Red Hot Chili
Peppers. Oh, I like
Peppers.
that. Take me to the other side.
Your
okay.
girl,
I got to go with Bernie right now.
Susan Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon is Bernie's side? Well, I'll follow her
That's
right
right.
off a cliff like
Margaret
Thumb and Louise.
Cho and Steve Wozniak from Apple. Also, there's some more there, but then
I love Apple. You know, Apple is really, really upset over that North Carolina law. You know, they're threatening to walk out of North Carolina. You know, that Apple, the same company that employs people as slave labor wages in China or supports the human rights violations in China, that's Apple for you. And Google. Well, Google, don't. I'm afraid anytime I say anything against Google, they're going to not let me access anything. Because I live on Wikipedia.
Do you really? But the hypocrisy is, I mean, it's just massive.
You know what
on that
LaRouche
side.
Foucault said about hypocrisy?
What?
Don't you? Well, go ahead and Google it.
Hey.
LaRouche Foucault said hypocrisy is the tribute that vice pays to virtue. So it's not the worst thing in the world, hypocrisy. Yeah, that's going to be on my tombstone. Go ahead. What other celebrities
You quoted
do we
her
have?
yesterday, Sarah Silverman. She's also a Bernie Sanders, or you made reference to her.
Yeah.
And then Hillary, she gets America Ferrera, and she's from Ugly Betty.
I thought she was the Ferrera Pan Candies out of Chicago.
Kerry Washington from Scandal, Amy Poehler.
So the better looking one's more Bernie. That's how I go. Right? It's the better.
Also for Hillary, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Steven Spielberg.
So it comes down to Streisand's the tiebreaker. Who does she go for? I think Hillary.
She would go with Hillary.
Yeah, that's even though she slept with Bill, didn't she? Or,
no, she was in the Lincoln bedroom, jumping on the bed.
But not with Bill?
I think Bill was there.
I think, you know what it is? Christopher Buckley wrote a novel based on like a Clinton-like president in which a Streisand-like character sleeps
Slept.
with Clinton. So to me, that's
No, it's not the same.
The blurb.
Not the same.
Okay.
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Yeah.
But Hillary is trying so hard to appeal to the young hipsters. She even said, and I think we have that on cut.
Sure. No, don't give it away. This is a technical workshop. Don't,
Okay.
Which number is it,
One.
Deb?
D1. Hillary appealing to.
Is this Bernie? Oh, D1.
D1.
Okay. here
I
we
want to be as good a president as Beyonce is a performer.
Do I want to have Do I want to have thighs as big as Beyonce? Right
She
now?
already does. She just hides them in pantsuits. So
Beyonce doesn't hide them.
Hillary
at the Super
does.
Bowl.
Oh,
hey, what about
gosh.
Beyonce coming out, girlfriend, with a white militia man with all the arms? She was like ready to mow down the Super Bowl audience.
I
Wasn't
didn't
she?
understand the message that she was trying to send. I know a lot of people said
It's Black Power or something.
that's what they said. I don't know if that was really the message there.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. We got plenty of time before the NFL draft to figure out that football question. Coming up around the bend, Dan and Amy, we'll hear from them in Cabo. I hope they're sloshed. That would be nice, because I want to hear Dan explain the flat tax while he's sloshed. Better than Trump explaining any of his positions.
I don't think Amy
And-
will be. She's doing yoga. Lots of yoga.
And we'll also be doing, Hillary bashing on the 8s and Obama bashing on the 9s right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Tremendous. Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
It's so important businesses who share conservative values work together and support each other so our companies thrive. If you're a manufacturer, I encourage you to call Laz Kolchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, they create custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or startup. Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. At Freedom Summit, Laz wowed the crowd with the story of escaping communism, coming to the U.S., and building a successful company. And I know that Laz and Automated Systems can wow your company by making it more profitable. If you even suspect that Automated Systems could benefit your manufacturing company, then call Laz at Automated Systems at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit automatedsys.com. The number again, 844-HIRE-ASI.
My name is David Hochberg, and I'm Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. That's right, I'm now Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. I'm the same guy that's provided listeners with honest advice and outstanding customer service for the past 13 years. The only thing that's changed is where I work. When you wanted to do an FHA Streamline refinance to lower your interest rate and payment, you called me and I helped you. When you wanted to refinance your 11% loan, you called me and I helped you. When you wanted to use your retirement assets to do an asset depletion loan, you called me and I helped you. If you'd like to talk to me about a mortgage, please call me at 312-751-1333. 312-751-1333. Email me at david@pearldavid.com. That's david@PERLDavid.com. Or visit my website, am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage is an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358, licensed by DBO under California RMLA and MLS 19186. PearlMortgage.com licensing.
CertaPro painters are here for every stage of your life, from moving into a new home, creating the ideal nursery, to reinventing your living space. CertaPro painting experts create the perfect setting while you do life. They came to our home and brightened our walls and our moods so very quiet they wouldn't wake a baby. But the best part? They clean up after themselves so you don't have to do it. And now that spring is here, it is the perfect time to spruce up your home's exterior. Take a look at your home. Do you see chipping, peeling, fading? Well, leave it to CertaPro painting experts to refresh, renew, and protect your biggest investment, your home. Now is the time to call for your free estimate and schedule your exterior painting project. 1-800-GO-CERTA, 1-800-GOCERTA. That's CERTA with a C. Or visit CertaPro.com today. CertaPro.com. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Are you living with prostate enlargement? Do you pee more often than you used to? Do you wake up to go? Be honest.
Is there a drop in your romantic life? Prostate problems don't go away on their own, so you need to call for a free bottle of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 non-prescription formula for your prostate. The ingredients are natural. With Super Beta Prostate, you'll have less urges to urinate, less waking at night, and an improvement in your romantic life, guaranteed. Try it for free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-317-7853. Super Beta Prostate is so powerful, you'd have to take 100 saw palmetto capsules to get the same active ingredient in just one Super Beta Prostate tablet. Stop running to the bathroom and call us now for your free bottle. Hurry, this free offer won't last. Just call 1-800-317-7853. That's 1-800-317-7853. 1-800-317-7853.
Here are the stories we're watching for you this morning. The political eyes of the nation focused on Wisconsin today, and a 17-year-old found shot to death on the northwest side. WIND Chicago News Times, 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lisa Brady. Almost time to vote in Wisconsin.
We have millions more votes than Cruz. We've beaten him in most of the states.
Donald Trump says if he doesn't win tonight, he will keep going. He and Ted Cruz keep urging John Kasich to drop out.
If you lose 49 states, you ain't going to be the Republican nominee.
But Kasich still hoping for a contested convention. The Wisconsin polls open an hour from now. Hillary Clinton is all but cleared out of Wisconsin, focusing on her home state, New York, and yesterday celebrating New York's $15 minimum wage law.
This is what makes America great. This kind of bold, persistent experimentation.
The Bernie Sanders win in Wisconsin would keep a streak going, but still leave him far behind in delegates. Charred wreckage, all that's left of a tourist helicopter after a crash in the Tennessee mountains. Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers with this live.
The 5 people on board were sightseeing when they were killed in that crash in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park yesterday. Pigeon Forge Police Chief Jack Baldwin says it came down the side of a mountain and crashed at the foot of it.
There's not much left. The helicopter's pretty well consumed in the fire.
A witness says he saw the pilot roll out of the burning chopper. That crash site is about 3 miles from Dolly Parton's Dollywood theme park. Lisa.
Tanya, tax evasion probes springing up around the world after the leak of documents from a lawyer in Panama. A dozen current or former world leaders among those suspected of hiding money in offshore accounts. Here's what it sounds like when your college wins the NCAA championship for the first time in 31 years with a buzzer beater.
Jenkins three, right wing to win it. He made it. He made the three for the right wing at the buzzer. Cats win it all. Cats win it all. Cats win it all.
The call on Villanova Radio. Heartbreak for North Carolina, which had tied the game just seconds before. Fair and balanced.
Mostly clear and 30 degrees. It's 6:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. We have a construction accident to tell you about on I-90 this morning where a beam has fallen and injured several workers at the scene. Investigators are continuing to work that incident this morning, and it also is causing major traffic headaches. Jim Telemonte will be along in just a moment to help steer you around that big problem this morning on your way to work. Authorities say one person was killed, several were hurt when a train struck a car at a suburban railway crossing. Skokie police saying firefighters had to extricate 2 from the mangled car. CTA says investigators believe the vehicle drove through down crossing gates before the collision. Police say one of the car's occupants, identified by the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office as 62-year-old Balandina Jimenez of Skokie, was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Chicago aldermen say Mayor Rahm Emanuel's office is briefing city council members about his recommendation to settle for $4.9 million of federal lawsuit brought by the family of a man who died after police subdued him with a stun gun and dragged him from a jail cell. Meetings followed the December release of video of the 2012 incident involving 38-year-old Philip Coleman. Republican legislative leaders in Springfield say it is up to Democrats to make the next move in an effort to get a new budget in place. House Minority Leader Jim Durkin says Democrats will have to agree to at least part of Governor Rauner's business reform proposals before Republicans will consider any hikes in taxes. A proposal to speed up a juvenile suspect's hearing before a judge is headed to the Illinois House floor. The committee has overwhelmingly approved a bill to require a hearing within 24 hours of arrest. Buying those peanuts and Cracker Jack will cost you more than ever at Wrigley Field. Almost any other Major League ballpark, in fact. The website Go Banking Rates surveyed 30 parks for the average cost of 2 tickets, 2 dogs, 2 beers, and parking. Wrigley Field, price tag, $116, second only to Fenway Park. While at the Cell, White Sox fans are paying $68. Opening day baseball, White Sox beat Oakland 4-3. Chris Sale struck out 8. Jake Arrieta looked unhittable at times, and the Cubs win over the Angels 9-0. The news, a service of GoDaddy, running your own business, running you ragged. GoDaddy can help with memorable domains, website designs, online marketing tools, and 24/7 expert advice. You can do it. Correction, you can kill it with GoDaddy. Go you, GoDaddy. 6:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Personal finance is 80% behavior, 20% head knowledge.
Dave Ramsey.
The reason you're in debt is behavior, not math. The way you get out of debt is behavior, change, not math. You can't borrow your way out of debt. How many times have you heard someone say, I had a whole bunch of credit card debt and I paid it off by getting a second mortgage? You didn't pay it off. You moved it.
The Dave Ramsey Show. Weeknights starting at 7, right before Michael Medved at 10. Presented by Wintrust Community Bank on AM 560. The Answer.
QL1, this is Control. Does Rocket Mortgage require me to fill out a bunch of paperwork?
That's negative Control. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is the first on-demand mortgage machine that quickly and seamlessly imports your financial data. You can go through the entire mortgage process on your own and completely online.
Copy that, QL1, but if I wanted to speak to someone, do you think they're out there?
They're out there, all right. I've made contact before. In fact, according to J.D. Power, they've provided award-winning client service for 6 years in a row.
Roger that, QL1. It's nice to know they're out there, wherever they are.
Detroit Control. They're in Detroit. Over.
3, 2, 1.
Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Rocket. Visit for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
6:06 in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. The latest this morning with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Well, the construction incident in Des Plaines means that Toohey Avenue is closed until further notice between Wolf and Lee Street. This after the beam fell on construction workers, causing significant injuries. Eastbound Adams Tollway at Lee. 2 left lanes are blocked because of this. The Adams Tollway running through that area. It's a huge backup from Arlington Heights Road to Lee. To get around this, you'll want to take an east-west thoroughfare to get to Manheim and head south back to the Adams Tollway, or get to the Tri-State. And it is a huge delay on eastbound I-90. Elsewhere, the rush is pretty routine, with no delays yet on the Edens or the Kennedy. Inbound Eisenhower has a 5-minute delay from Wolf to Harlem. Stevenson, scattered delays starting at Cicero. It's 38 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic is a service of Grasshopper, the entrepreneur's phone system. Turn the world into your office with Grasshopper, the entrepreneur's phone system. Get a local or toll-free number or bring your own. You can even have your voicemails transcribed and emailed to you. See how it works at grasshopper.com, the entrepreneur's phone system. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. 80 years of quality mechanical solutions for your business. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, thickening clouds with a high 45. Tonight, breezy with occasional rain, low 39. Mostly cloudy with showers tomorrow, windy and milder with a high 57. Then a shower in spots at night, low tomorrow night, 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 28 at O'Hare, 30 along the lakefront. Next news coming up at 6:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k specialist, whose goal is to protect, preserve, and grow your wealth. Saturday mornings at 7.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
You're fired.
Bruce Wolf and Deborah in for Dan and Amy. We'll hear from them in a few minutes. They're in Cabo. The whole station's vacationing there. And we are here in residence. I'm getting, the credits I needed for my GED in broadcasting. And then I'll be able to go on to college. Maybe Columbia College.
Great school.
Several of my children went there. One of my daughters, who now has 4 children under the age of 5.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I called it the $80,000 drum lesson because that's what she majored in. At her graduation, Earth, Wind, and Fire played.
Awesome.
And there. I mean, and then we just lost, the lead singer.
Yeah,
right?
Maurice.
I didn't know his name. I didn't. Love that. So, I have a problem with higher education. I think it's a total ripoff.
You know what?
Total ripoff.
I used to bite my tongue. I taught at Columbia.
I'm doing it right now.
For 8 years.
Well, you taught there.
I taught at DePaul.
Really?
And I used to bite my tongue because I really wanted to say, this is a waste of your parents' good money.
See, if I had been... If I tried to get in, had a bout of unemployment. Basically, I've been unemployed since in the 21st century. But I had a bout of unemployment, and I tried to get in at Northwestern.
Yeah.
And, they wouldn't have me, even though it's my alma mater. Mm-hmm. And actually, right now, if they offered me a job, I would say I can't in good conscience, be part of something that charges people $65,000 a year. It's just ridiculous. However, if they offer me six figures, I would do it. Go Cats! Go Cats! Rah!
I will say this, though, because I am on the board, president's board of another college downstate. Mm-hmm. There are schools that do it right. And by that, I mean they really are educating kids.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If you're in the hard sciences or whatever,
absolutely,
they're great. But if you get into the liberal arts area with gender studies and this and that, it's not that liberal arts is important. It's very important, but you can get it online now.
You can, and with these schools like MIT and a number of other schools, you can log on to, I think it's called Udacity or Udacity, however they pronounce it. You can get all of these classes for free.
Udacity is the one in the hood. Udacity is the one in the northern suburbs.
Neither one. Yeah. They're on the east. It's online. Period.
Sure.
But you know what? There are real things about colleges that we can criticize, like the safe rooms. Have you heard about these?
Oh yeah, safe spaces, microaggressions, all that. We're going to be talking with Kevin Williamson of National Review in the 8 o'clock hour, and he just did a tour of schools in Texas. That's where he's from, and he probably had to watch out for microaggressions. It's horrible.
I told my son, because he's going to be leaving for college this year, but he's very rooted, very grounded. But these kids, they're afraid of everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we have programming things, and it's time for Obama bashing on the 12s. Okay. AM 560 News Time, 6:12. Thank you, Felicia. The Dickensian named Josh Earnest, because it's an oxymoron. Joshing is joking. Ernest is being earnest. Yes.
I never noticed that.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, he's the liar for President Obama, so he's never earnest. But even he, yesterday, when confronted with all the stuff about Iran, surprise, violating the terms of the treaty, whatever the terms, it wasn't a treaty, the agreement with ballistic testing. They're getting access now to the U.S. dollar, which they weren't supposed to be doing, all kinds of things. Here's what Josh Earnest.
We obviously are concerned about this development because offering up support to the rebels in Yemen is something that is not at all consistent with UN Security Council resolutions.
Well, you're shocked as a proverbial who was it, the inspector in Casablanca. I'm shocked to see gambling going on here. Also, everybody goes with that one. I like to go with a deep cut shock, which is bananas. Did you ever see Woody Allen's Bananas?
No, I didn't.
Well, okay. So in that, he's part of the revolution, and he goes into a deli to get food for the revolution, and he orders like 18,000 sandwiches. Goes up to the counter. 18,000 sandwiches, 400,000 pounds of coleslaw. You see guys in wheelbarrows rolling out the coleslaw.
Mm-hmm.
And, all this big order, and he's got the check there, and it's, totals to about, $95 million or $1,000. And all of a sudden, he takes out a gun and points it at the guy behind the deli and says, "This is for the revolution." And the guy behind the counter is shocked that, he was being ripped off that way. Yeah, Josh Earnest, of course this was going to happen. And they're not really shocked. This is what they want to have happen. They want Iran to become the hegemon in the region. I don't know why. I mean, Israel's got to be looking at this ballistic missile test and say, hey, we're going to have to bomb Iran. Go ahead.
Well, I wrote a piece on my blog, which is Deborah's World, and you can access that over at Deborah's World. It's too bad President Obama didn't talk with Uncle Oscar. And it's all about that deal. It was a horrible deal. And they went into this deal knowing it was horrible. They gave him, $150 million,
$150 billion.
Right,
yeah.
Right off the top. Access now to do all of these business deals. And
didn't tell Congress about, surprise. They didn't tell them about, some of the fine print. Hey, if you want your missiles, you can keep them. That's what it came down to.
Well, it's the same thing the way they handled Obamacare. Nobody read the thing before they were already voting on it. So,
Sure.
But this is a very troubling thing for me, this whole Iran nuclear deal. Because Iran basically, they self-police. The terms of the agreement, they can self-police themselves.
How do you think I feel with my primary loyalty to Israel?
Well,
I'm not an
put it this
American
way.
citizen.
You don't have dual citizenship? Come on.
No, I've never been to Israel, and I'm never going to see the Promised Land because I'm Moses.
I'm going to see the Promised Land.
You mean the Promised
No,
Promised
I mean
Land.
I'm going to see the Promised Land.
Have you gone to the Holy Land? Have you gone to Israel?
No, but
Oh.
I know someone that sends a lot of stuff to Israel, and I plucked out a strand of my hair and I put it in the package so my DNA will. I really did that. So my DNA will arrive before I get there.
Well, when Jews are buried, a lot of times they get like a packet of dirt, seriously, from Israel that's used in the burial in the United States. So
Same kind of
there
deal.
you go. Hey, did you see? I heard this on the way in. 3,000 millionaires have left the city of Chicago, and by millionaires, it means a million in assets, right? Not like $1 million a year. So our net loss of millionaires, and the reason I heard, given on the radio was that racial tensions and crime in Chicago. But wait a minute. If you're a millionaire, you don't live in one of those neighborhoods. It's the taxes, isn't it?
No, because
it's not racism and crime. Who lives in Englewood and has $1 million in assets?
Let me update you,
Englewood
Bruce.
is worth
You're
$1
still
million.
stuck in the 90s. Let me
Okay.
update you on what's really happening here.
Tell us, Southeast Side girl. Okay.
Englewood is, I said this actually about a couple months ago on another show. In 10 years, that's not actually a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We won't know Englewood. Right now, you don't know Englewood if you haven't been over there in 20
because they're going to
years.
build a Whole Foods? That's
It's
going to
nothing
change all-
there, no.
Oh, it's zero. There's nothing there. It's
It has already been pretty much,
It's like my
leveled.
old neighborhood on the west side where I grew up. I once drove through it about 30 years ago, and it was like Yucca Flats after the atomic testing cha-cha. Boy, do I miss Dennis Miller.
I took the Green Line a couple of years ago, and it snakes through, I think that's the Green Line, but parts of that area. And I was looking out, and there was nothing but grass.
And you were dressed like Beyonce during the
No,
Super Bowl.
heck
Just to ward off any, people who might have attacked you.
No, I was sitting with my arms crossed over my,
Ducking
myself.
underneath the, on the L. Yeah.
But the point is, it's not just crime relegated to an Englewood. What have we been seeing? We've been seeing it happen on the near north side, and it's a real threat for lots of people. So it makes sense to me.
There are safe neighborhoods in the city of Chicago.
There are.
Dan lives, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
a very
the
safe
top.
neighborhood.
He's not in Trump Tower, is he?
No, he's
not there yet.
Not yet.
But he's
no, I
almost
don't think Dan would move to Trump Tower, actually.
Oh, because of the
Yeah,
name.
there you
oh,
go.
Yeah. He's Dan is the only member of the 1% who is in the Occupy movement as well. He covers all the bases. All right, and we will hear from Dan and Avi in Cabo post haste here on AM 560. The Answer.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
By the way, I mean, as far as the traffic goes, which we're coming up to, you remember yesterday I got lost coming in here, and I had to have Mike Scott direct me in. Well, I wound up taking like Toohey Avenue and getting on 90 there. That's where there was an accident today. So if it had happened today, I never would have gotten here. And it's a terrible accident. Jim Talamonte is going to tell us about it. That's a little tease for the traffic right now. But why don't you tell us about the weather?
I will. Today, thickening clouds, a high of 45. Tonight, increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40. And for tomorrow, you can expect it to be mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder, a high of 56. Jim Talamonte, what's happening traffic-wise?
Well, Deborah and Bruce, you're right. Tragic is the word. Critical injuries have been reported. We have an unconfirmed report that this has actually been a fatal incident. This happening at Toohey and Wolf Road. Beam falling on workers, and this has Toohey closed entirely between Wolf and Lee. Also with the Adams Tollway running through the area, there are 2 left lanes blocked on eastbound I-90. It is a huge backup from Gulf Road to Toohey. Westbound, there's a bit of a gaper's delay from the Devon Toll Plaza to Toohey, so seek an alternate if you would maybe take 53 to the Eisenhower or find your way to Mannheim to get to the Adams Tollway, or take another east-west thoroughfare to get to the Tri-State. But this is a major backup, and again, Toohey shut down until further notice between Wolf and Lee. You can expect this to be a problem throughout the morning. The Edens is just a little heavy inbound approaching the junction. The Kennedy has no significant delays yet, and it's lighter with very little traffic coming from the eastbound Adams Tollway at this point. The Eisenhower, slow Wolf to Harlem. It's 38 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 30. Stevenson, 39 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan is 22 minutes, 95 to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
If you're in business, you know the importance of communications. Telephony and internet services can mean success and profits. Chicago-based Innovative Networks is a complete provider of high-tech voice and data services that allow your phones and data to efficiently follow you anywhere, in the office or across the world. For companies of all sizes and industries, Innovative Networks provides state-of-the-art equipment, installation, and maintenance for a minimal monthly fee. Your company can enjoy the benefits of superior communications and greater profits. Innovative Networks is offering AM 560 listeners with a business this special deal. Listen up. Pay $0 upfront plus up to 80% savings over major providers. For your free business communications consultation, call Innovative Networks, an accredited and award-winning Better Business Bureau service provider, at 855-GO-4-INET, or visit go4inet.com. That's 855-GO-4-INET. Innovative Networks, communication, technology, and reliability for Chicagoland business. 855-GO-4-INET.
Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. So you get yourself one of those blood tests with all the poking and prodding. They're always looking for some kind of bad news. Most blood tests these days are very lacking, only screening you for the big, bad, and ugly diseases, with you never really getting the good news, or even knowing what to do with the not-so-good news. So let me tell you about our dirt-cheap comprehensive blood test. First of all, we'll be testing a wide variety of different health factors and not just the ugly few. And then we're going to sit down with you and strategize with all that we learned from your blood test findings. And I promise that you're going to know more about what you can do to help improve your health using a more natural, common sense approach. And for over 33 years, we've been very successful at setting people free from their toxic medications. It's our dirt cheap, comprehensive blood test. Call 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. That's 800-794-1855. Be sure to tune into Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
The chair recognizes the senator from Illinois.
The public needs a commitment to lower mortgage rates and better service. Too many fine citizens are unable to secure the best rates and advice.
Will the gentleman yield? A solution already exists. Townstone Financial's president, Barry Sterner, has long been established as having the lowest mortgage rates and outstanding commitment to service.
Townstone Financial and Barry Sterner? Do us senators receive special deals on rates?
No, sir, Senator. Townstone offers everyone who qualifies the same low rates and great service. Townstone is an equal opportunity lender.
I'm calling this marvelous institution.
Call Barry Sterner at 312-896-2111 or visit townstone.com.
I move to pass a bill. For purchase or refinance, call Barry Sterner at Townstone, 312-896-2111, or online at townstone.com.
Townstone Financial is an Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois mortgage licensee, 6629 and NMLS 136639.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hello, Chicago. We're at the Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort in beautiful Mexico on our Escape to Cabo trip presented by Dermatology and Plastic Surgery and Associates and by Artistic Dentistry.
And we want to thank Apple Vacations for making this trip possible once again. And we're here all week. We'll be talking with some of the listeners who've come along and some of the sponsors.
Your yoga instructor, we'll talk to her, I'm sure.
Ophelia. You know what I mean? That's her name.
It's a young noblewoman from Denmark, if you know your Shakespeare listeners.
Yes.
Do you?
Do you?
Yes.
You do. But right now we're joined by Hirie Hiramoto. She is with Apple Vacations, and she has helped us plan what is going to be the best excursion ever. So where are we going and what are we doing?
Well, we're going tomorrow to see the Lovers Beach and Divorce Beach. That is the main important.
Lovers Beach and Divorce Beach.
Yes. That is someone behind the other one, so
Yes.
don't go there. Just to stop at the Lovers Beach.
Lovers Beach and Divorce. So, they're next to each other.
Yes.
So you go to Lovers Beach, you have a fight, then you just go over to Divorce
Exactly.
Beach.
You can go to Divorce Beach and you die because it's the Pacific size.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
that
much
is the
simpler
base.
than having to get attorneys.
Really simple.
Yes.
So this is the tip where the Sea of Cortez meets the Pacific Ocean. It's the only place in North America where you have a sea and an ocean meet.
Yes. It is, we are in the middle of the two oceans. This is the magic town. That's why we say something is in Cabo, you know? Because how can you divide it?
Ooh.
The famous arch divided two oceans. The people who ever coming here for vacations and they say just coming for a few months, they stay forever, like me.
It could happen to us.
No, because you went to Harper College.
Yes. I'm studying in Chicago for 6 years. I went to the Harper College. I'm living in Prospect Heights, so I know very well all the area.
Wow.
Prospect Heights is a suburb of Mount Prospect.
And you
Exactly.
couldn't leave quickly enough.
See?
So tomorrow, after we go to the Lovers Beach and then Divorce Beach, then we're going to snorkel, correct?
Exactly. Actually, you're going to be in snorkeling on the best bay that is in Cabo. Actually, it's up on the corridor. It is certified by Jacques Cousteau. That's why it has
Wow,
a blue
Jacques
flag.
Cousteau.
Yeah, and it is Santa Maria
Good
Bay.
housekeeping seal, yeah.
Santa Maria and Chileno Bay, they are the most exclusive beaches in whole Mexico.
Now, I have a question. With respect to snorkelers, have you ever heard of a snorkeler who chubbed the water when she was snorkeling?
Oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard of that either, but I don't know. Amy chubs the water when she
said chub, but I
snorkels.
meant to say I chum the water. So
Yeah.
I feed the fish so that they come, and it makes for some great video and some good time.
Because you're not allowed to sexually harass the fish.
No.
When you're snorkeling, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I just wanted
no,
to make that
actually,
clear.
you have to take care about that.
Yes, right. And you and the fish are going to have to go to Divorce Beach.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of as a protocol question. How many snorkelers on the average trip are subsequently lost at sea? Do you normally get everyone back, or is it?
Yes, no, normally we
Normally you
got
do.
everybody back.
Okay.
Yeah. No, don't worry. We count our people before came back to the pier, so that way
Like
we
the
save
buddy
everybody.
system.
What
Yeah.
if you tie a 10-pound weight to someone's foot?
Yeah.
Is there a good chance that,
That
they
could
might
be-
not
that
Oh,
make
could
it
be
back
more
on the
difficult.
boat? Maybe
Yeah.
Dan?
No?
Maybe it's a chance.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Now, a question too, just about the snorkeling. The schools of fish, are those private schools, or are those public schools that those
Public,
fish go to?
public.
Oh.
Everything is
No.
public here in Mexico.
I don't want to see that.
Nothing private. Yeah, no, everything is public.
Well, thank you so much. One other question. It's a little indelicate, but our general manager asked that I ask that. Can knock off maybe 10% on the snorkeling trip? You know what I mean? Kind of a little bit of a group volume discount. Can we cut it by?
Yeah, actually, we're making special prices, because you are a group and actually from Chicago, so my paisanos, it could be my paisanos.
I love it. The
That's why you
Chicago
have a
discount. The Chicago corruption
discount.
tax
Oh, yeah.
discount. I love it.
That's what we made in that.
Thank you so
trip
much.
For you.
Thank you for organizing this. This has been great. You've done a great job. I really
Uria
appreciate it.
Hiramoto, thank you so much.
And we can watch all the videos, including the snorkeling trip and the public schools of fish. You can watch all those videos of our trip here in Los Cabos at 560theanswer.com/escape, and also on the Chicago's Morning Answer Facebook page and our Twitter feed, which is @Morning Answer.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hey, protecting your family and Second Amendment rights is important. You need the proper equipment and training from DS Arms. As an actual manufacturer of AR-15 and FNFAL type rifles, they also stock all major brands of firearms, including handguns and every accessory imaginable for self-defense, target shooting, and hunting. Ladies, get your concealed carry license plus basic and advanced training in a family-friendly environment with girlfriends, loved ones, even mom. Everything's provided, including a firearm for only $225. For custom rifles made in America or concealed carry firearms training classes, make DS Arms your team. It's great being an American and supporting your Second Amendment rights and American manufacturing jobs. With nearly 3 decades of experience, DS Arms has you covered. DS Arms, much more than a gun store. It's easy to reach in Lake Barrington, just off of Route 14 and Pepper Road. Call 847-277-7260 or visit dsarms.com.
Hey, it's time for a little R&R, courtesy of ChicagoRadioDeals.com. 2 words, Door County. Take a few days off and escape to Wisconsin. Head on up to the White Lace Inn, a gorgeous bed and breakfast in Sturgeon Bay. The White Lace Inn features 18 inviting guest rooms and suites in 4 elegant turn-of-the-century neighboring homes. Enjoy the gardens, gazebos, the glory that is Door County. This is a $300 gift certificate for only $150 on ChicagoRadioDeals.com. It can be applied to overnight stays or items in their store. This deal is exclusive and limited, so don't wait. For another fabulous getaway adventure, purchase an overnight stay package for the Schuster Mansion Bed and Breakfast in Milwaukee. Spend the night in Molly's Room, their 2-room luxury suite with a private bath and premier concierge service. Includes breakfast in the Victorian dining room and fresh chocolate chip cookies. Yours for only $85 per couple, valued at $169 a night. Check out all the deals on ChicagoRadioDeals.com and get out of town. And now it is time for the news with Mike Scott, and pretty bad news there on the near the expressway.
Bruce and Deborah, you're right this morning. We're tracking developments. Jim Telemonte has been watching this for us intensively as a construction worker has been killed. 3 others hurt after a beam fell near Toohey Avenue. It's construction work that's ongoing along I-90 in Des Plaines. Toohey, again, as Jim has been telling us, is closed between Wolf and Lee Street. And Jim will keep an eye on this all morning long. But according to sources and according to investigators at the scene, a construction worker now has been killed. 3 others hurt after that beam fell at Toohey Avenue this morning. Classes are canceled for the day at Villanova University as the school celebrates its first men's national basketball title since 1985. Villanova squeaking by North Carolina 77-74. And Tar Heel head coach Roy Williams says it's tough to explain a loss to kids.
This is a difficult time period as a coach and the players because it's you fought so hard and you did so much throughout the course of the season to have a chance to win a national championship.
Chris Jenkins, game winner, took the game for Villanova. The political eyes of the nation focused on Wisconsin today, and Ted Cruz is polling in first ahead of Donald Trump, and then Ohio Governor John Kasich. More from Fox's Mike Tobin, just north of the Cheddar Curtain.
Wisconsin has picked the eventual nominee for more than half a century, but that's because the race is usually pretty well decided by the time you get to Wisconsin. Now you've got Donald Trump, who is feeling the heat. He's got problems with women voters, and that brought out a rare appearance from his wife.
No matter who you are, a man or a woman, he treats everyone equal.
Trump on the stump, Ted Cruz speaking to Megyn Kelly, find themselves in the rare position of agreeing with each other, but only on one point, that Governor John Kasich should drop out. Now, Kasich does not have the delegates to win unless Republicans go to a contested convention.
That, of course, Fox's Mike Tobin. He is in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Senator Bernie Sanders also counting on a big win in Wisconsin. Hillary Clinton has spent the last several hours campaigning in New York. Authorities say one person was killed, several hurt when a train struck a car at a suburban railway crossing. It happened in Skokie. Police say one of the car's occupants, identified by the Cook County Medical Examiner yesterday, was 62-year-old Blandina Hermes of Skokie, pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. The FBI and the Chicago Police Department are asking for your help locating 5 Chicago men accused of running a counterfeit scheme that included phony sales of Bears, Cubs, Bulls, and Blackhawk tickets. All 16 men involved were charged in Cook County Circuit Court with forgery with the alleged scheme. 11 of those charged were taken into custody. Opening day baseball, good on the north and the south sides. White Sox beat Oakland 4-3, while the Cubs in L.A. took care of the Angels 9-0. The news service of Hum by Verizon. Hum by Verizon is the technology designed to make your car smarter, safer, and more connected. It's easy. Just plug it in, and you'll get vehicle diagnostics, emergency assistance, and pinpoint roadside help. Get some peace of mind and a smarter, safer, more connected car. Visit hum.com now. 6:34 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher tries to keep up with Decision 2016.
A letter, a death threat sent to Eric Trump, one of Trump's sons. I'm watching this morning the Today Show on NBC, and Matt Lauer says, are things going too far? That cow left that barn a while ago. Republican leaders meeting to try to figure out how to stop a Republican nominee for president? The whole thing is pretty crazy.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Here Maps, the app that turns your phone into a car navigation system with offline maps and turn-by-turn guidance. Get it now at here.com/guide.
I feel great. I've always felt pretty good, but once I started taking them in September, I couldn't have felt any better. Everybody in my household's been sick through the holidays. We've had bad snowstorms here, and I feel great.
This is a wonderful thing. I'm really getting a lot of benefits from it. I'm 70 years old. I'm going to be 71 in April, and I just feel generally much better. I would also say there have been all kinds of colds and flu around me, and I haven't caught any of them. I have arthritis, and that has not been as much as it used to be by a long shot. So it's touched me in many areas.
Good health is just a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Call now and take the health challenge to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
6:35, let's get an update on the roads this morning. In our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Des Plaines, Toohey Avenue is shut down until further notice between Wolf and Lee due to that construction incident at Toohey and Wolf. Now the eastbound Adams Tollway is jammed from 53 all the way to Toohey, where 2 left lanes are blocked. So soon you can expect this to cause some delays on 53 as well. Consider 53 to the Eisenhower or another east-west road to get to the Tri-State or to Manheim to get to the Adams Tollway. It's a huge mess, and it's not going to clear up anytime soon. Westbound, there are delays as well from the Devon Toll to Toohey, where there's a left lane closed on westbound 90. Northbound Tri-State, slow from Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Reagan Tollway has delays from the Tri-State to the Ike. Eden's 25 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 19. The Kennedy, 25 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. The Eisenhower, now 50 minutes Thorndale to the Loop. Crash reported at Manheim. Stevenson, 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown traffic. Service of GoDaddy. Running your own business, running you ragged? GoDaddy can help with memorable domains, website design, online marketing tools, and 24/7 expert advice. You can do it. Correction, you can kill it with GoDaddy. Go you, GoDaddy. Traffic answers when you need them most. From Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. 80 years of quality mechanical solutions for your business. Well, clouds will thicken through the day, high 45, windy, rainy overnight, low of 40. Currently, 29 degrees at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 7. And with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Deborah Rowe on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ruthie Wolf and Deborah Rowe. This portion of the Dan and Amy Show is brought to you by Salerno Butter Cookies. Thank you, Biff. We have our own staff announcer. Do Dan and Amy? I bring them along with me.
Do you remember the jingle for Salerno?
Mommy,
butter
what is it, dear? I
Yeah,
want a Salerno
yeah.
butter cookie.
That was so cute.
Yeah, I brought a box. My mother gave me a box of Salerno cookies to bring to the Cub opener in 1970. And I stood in line, and there was such a crush of humanity there. I dropped the box, wasn't able to pick it up. I ditched school that day. And after that day, they actually opened up the bleachers early because of that crush. And they put the basket in the front of the bleachers because people were throwing stuff onto the field. So that's a little bit of opening day history for you. Yesterday was the opening day of the baseball season. We heard Mike Scott earlier report that in the price to go to a Cubs game right now, because we have a financial news segment right now.
Yes.
I don't know nothing about the stock market, but I know something about going to a ball game. To go to Wrigley Field is $116. Now, for that, you get 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, parking, and a lap dance from former Cub ball girl Marla Collins. I think that's what
That's
Mike was
not
reporting. Or is that right, Mike? I think. Did you hear?
I did not hear the Marla Collins part of that story.
That's what you reported on.
Oh, well,
I just take dictation on loan from Mike Scott. Yeah.
Hey,
dictation.
Marla.
Oh, that's your Harry Carey.
That's not bad.
It's terrific. Terrific.
Holy cow!
All right. Well, we have, and for the White Sox, by the way, it's like $68. So that's right. When you're slumming it, you can go to the
You still get the 2 hot dogs and all of that stuff?
Hey, the chairman was put into the the Basketball Hall of Fame
Jerry
yesterday.
Reinsdorf. But now, did he play he must have played point guard because I don't see him blocking out.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
No, all
he's
defensive
kinda
team.
Yeah, Jerry Reinsdorf is relatively small in stature, but he's like the smartest guy in the world. Jerry Reinsdorf once said, "Put off till tomorrow what you don't have to do today," which I think is a twist. And he's right because the problem will take care of itself in the meantime. For more financial advice, let's go to Stephen Esposito from Morgan Stanley.
Solid financial advice.
Solid.
Okay.
Stephen, let us talk to you right now. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very, very good.
Morning, Stephen.
I mean, did you hear us talking about White Sox and Cub ticket futures?
Absolutely.
Who would you invest in right now?
I have to say I've been a Cub fan my whole life.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, finally this year's... I feel sorry for Cub fans. I didn't grow up a Cub fan. I kind of hated them. But now it's like, we got it for the White Sox in 2005. Fine. Would you win already so you could stop kvetching? So where should I invest? What's going on in the market right now, Stephen?
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty, and frankly, markets don't like uncertainty in any way, shape, or form, and that's creating paralysis in the market. It's also frustrating people because the stock market volatility, the uncertainty over the global economies, and the fact that there's not a really attractive alternative for them just to park their money in. I mean, money markets are basically paying nothing. The old days of 5%, 6%, 8% CDs are not around and won't be around for a while. So there's a lot of frustration in the market and paralysis, and that's what's causing the volatility.
Well, could I just, I've contacted this law firm. I don't know if you're familiar with it. They're like the Panama Papers law firm, and they will park my money, hide my money in shell corporations, and they've got some great clients. I don't know if you have any clients like this. They've got Putin. They've got the head of Ukraine. They got Assad. It's a beautiful thing what they're doing, Stephen. How do you like that?
Yeah, no comment.
Hey, Stephen.
I'm not in that category, nor is my client base as far as my knowledge is concerned. But
okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
It
Stephen.
adds more to the frustration in the marketplace, I got to tell you that.
Oh, really?
When we talk about a global economic slowdown, here in America, of course, we are concerned about what's going on with our economy. But I'm kind of curious about this. If we have trouble, and we do, in Japan, we have trouble in Europe. I think they are like at zero interest or something like that. Brazil, Russia, I think they're in depression. What can we reasonably expect for our economy? Can we really expect a healthy turnaround at any point soon?
Well, we are turning it around. Things are getting better, but they're unfortunately moving at a snail's pace, and that adds to the frustration. Normally, the economic growth coming out of a recession like we just came out of would be about double the current pace. Because it's the slowest recovery since the Great Depression, is also a frustration. By now, it should be growing at a much faster pace. And the United States does lead the world. So the good news is we're the best house in a bad neighborhood as it stands right now. I mean, and that's what's basically affecting the market. But as I said, when you look at alternatives going out 3, 5, 7 years, there are some pretty good bargains in the equity market here in the United States. If Europe gets it together, which is a concern, and China seems to be bottoming out right now, and we have some recent good economic news out of China, so it gives us some a flicker of light going forward. But you do have negative interest rates in Japan and in Europe. So most people here don't realize they've never experienced that when you lend money to government there, you're actually paying them interest. You're not earning interest, which adds to the frustration and really upsets a lot of people just from conversations. I can't imagine writing a check to the government every day for them to hold your money.
We're talking with Stephen Esposito of Morgan Stanley. Back home right here in Illinois, I thought I saw a stat the other day that said that job creation was actually better right now for the first time than food stamp creation in Illinois. So I was thinking we should cave to the Chicago Teachers Union right now. We're flush with cash. But no, things are... this brings into play like Donald Trump because, he's promising, this utopian vision where somehow we're going to impose a 45% tariff on imported goods and prices aren't going to go up at Walmart. And it's like people aren't even listening to the consequences of some of his actions. And on the other hand, even Ted Cruz to me sounds like he's a little Pollyannish as well because he's not really sounding like an orthodox free trader.
Well, I can't get into politics, as you can imagine.
Sure.
But I can
just
tell
hypothetically
you that,
speaking, let's say somebody was in favor of something.
Hypothetically speaking, it's a scenario which there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of issues with trade, what's fair, what's not fair, the tax code. I think personally the real problem in the U.S. economy has more to do with not so much what's going overseas as it is here. You've got the Federal Reserve with its the pedal to the metal, as they say, but on the fiscal side of it, you have taxes, fees, regulations continuing to go up and take more and more of our dollars. So on one hand, companies and individuals are saving money when they borrow. On the other hand, when they save it, it's all going in taxes and it just keeps going up.
What are you talking about, Stephen? It's all about the billionaires. If we would tax the 536 billionaires in the United States of America right now, then the country could run for 2 months.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get into that either.
All right.
But I get it.
Hypothetically, if there were a guy who looked like Larry David who was running for president, how would you...
There is one.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean...
It's different. I can tell you that it's just the situation in which low interest rates helps you if you borrow money. But if you're a retiree or you're just a pension fund or just somebody trying to make a rate of return, low interest rates don't help you at all. It hurts you. You can have millions of dollars sitting in a money market account earning nothing. So you can imagine what that does to the average investor or retiree that just wants to put their money on the side and get a reasonable rate of return to pay their bills. At the same time, they're earning nothing on one end, and their cost of living keeps going up. So we're in a pretty difficult situation, but I think we'll come out of it. We always have. There's been worse economic environments in U.S. history. Just look back. I mean, just 7 years ago, the world was coming to an end. It didn't happen.
You apparently subscribe to the idea that you should never bet against America, even in light of all that's going on with us economically.
I wouldn't say never bet against America. There's times the market goes down. I wouldn't bet against the country, per se. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the financial markets, I've been managing wealth, I should say, for 33 years. So I've seen everything from the 87 crash all the way till now. So I've been through a lot of it. And I can tell you, when you look at the economic data, it could be worse, and it has been worse historically. Mm-hmm. The United States always finds a way to come out of it. That's why we have different elections. We have different situations going throughout it, unlike and Europe follows us. Now, China is still growing. China's still growing at 6 to 7% a year. We would kill for that here. Mm-hmm. They are transitioning, I can tell you that, from a export economy to a consumption economy, and that's going to have some bumps along the road. So don't write them off as, 1.5 billion people in the population will continue to grow, but there are going to be problems. There are going to be bumps along the road, and unfortunately, with 24-hour news and all the different easy news access, and frankly, there's not a lot of news out there that is, so we say, accurate, which I hear a lot. Mostly I hear investors with conflicting information and information that isn't accurate that they're making investment decisions on. Sometimes there's too much information, and people think just because it's on the internet, it's true. And it's not. Okay? Believe me when I tell you, there's half-truths in many things. So people need to be less emotional when it comes to investing and try to take 3 steps back, take a deep breath, and look for companies where there are bargains going out long-term. And you can find some good deals. You can find some good dividends right now that you can achieve. And what I've learned over all my years is money goes where it's best treated. And eventually, there will be investors will find out where that is, and obviously in hindsight. But as a wealth manager, it's our jobs to deploy capital in such a way that investors look out 3 to 5 years and make a rate of return. That's the whole idea. It's just a short-term mentality in trading that I think is really creating too much volatility and too much fear.
Stephen, as always, Stephen Esposito, Morgan Stanley Wealth Management Advisor with more than 30 years of experience and the founder of the Lake Forest Group. Thanks for your wisdom. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you for having me.
I'm the only candidate up here who's not a billionaire. I don't have a super PAC. I don't even have a backpack. I carry my stuff around loose in my arms like a professor, between classes.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
They found a causal nexus between Larry David's appearances on SNL and a bump in the popularity of Bernie Sanders. So I think that's why he wasn't on this weekend, so I think it's going to be closer in Wisconsin.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah. And now it's time for a check of the weather with Deb Rowe.
All right, today, thickening clouds, a high of 45 tonight. Increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40. And for tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder. A high of 56. Jim Talamonte, what's happening on the roads?
Deb and Bruce, it's a complete mess on the eastbound Adams Tollway. A major construction incident involving a beam falling on workers at Toohey and Wolf has Toohey shut down in both directions between Wolf and Lee. The Adams Tollway, 2 left lanes are blocked at Toohey. There's 1 blocked westbound. The eastbound delays start at 53. It's a huge jam. Westbound slow from the Devon Toll Plaza to Toohey. Alternates include 53 to the Eisenhower, which is getting very heavy too, or getting to Manheimer to the Tri-State to get around this. On that Eisenhower, we're now looking at 57 minutes Thorndale to downtown, 47 from Manheim, outbound 34 minutes to Thorndale. The Edens, 30 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 22. The Kennedy, 30 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. The Stevenson getting heavier now. 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 45 from the Tri-State. The Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 27 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Mission Ford 21. The northbound Tri-State has delays. Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. A shakeup in the Disney executive suites, and California workers advance in a lawsuit demanding places to sit. Those stories next.
Attention cigarette smokers. Have you tried unsuccessfully to quit smoking? Maybe you tried the patch or bad-tasting nicotine gum, or even tried going cold turkey. Great news. Now there's an all-natural alternative called Smoker's Nicotine Relief. From the Relief products, Smoker's Nicotine Relief is nicotine-free and comes in both a gum and lozenge. And they taste great. Smoker's Nicotine Relief uses natural ingredients that help you quit smoking by relieving smoking withdrawal symptoms such as nicotine cravings, irritability, insomnia, anxiety, and mood swings. All without nicotine, allowing you to quit smoking and quit nicotine. It's even gluten-free and diabetic-friendly, freshens your breath, and whitens your teeth. Start on the path to healthier living today. Quit smoking with the help of Smoker's Nicotine Relief. Call now to see if you qualify for 50% off your first order. Call while supplies last. 1-800-7
1-800-708-0138. That's 1-800-708-0138. 1-800-708-0138. That's 1-800-708-0138.
After a little more than a year on the job, Walt Disney Company Chief Operating Officer Thomas Staggs is out. The move surprised observers in the entertainment industry and throws open the race to succeed Disney Chairman Bob Iger when he steps down in 2 years. Senator Charles Schumer of New York raising concerns about a new gun that looks like an iPhone. Schumer wants the ATF to investigate before a .380 caliber gun, which resembles an iPhone and is already advertised on a website, is permitted to be marketed in this country. California's Supreme Court ruling that employers must evaluate the kinds of tasks that workers perform in order to determine which of them deserve a place to sit. That advances a lawsuit by CVS drugstore employees and tellers at Chase Bank. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey, it's Dan Proft. Guys, the holidays are now upon us. Do you want the gift that keeps on giving? How about giving yourself a healthier life and more energy to do the things you want to do with family and friends? If you've been feeling like a grumpy old man lately, it's time to get your testosterone level checked at Low T Center. I did. It's quick, easy, and with their on-site lab, you'll know your results in minutes. Plus, their services are covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy and can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. Low T Center even has convenient and flexible hours. So give yourself the gift that keeps on giving this December. Call Low T Center now and tell them Dan Proft sent you. Call today 630-409-4305. That number again, 630-409-4305, or visit them online at lowtcenter.com. That website again is lowtcenter.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Buenos tardes.
Buenas tardes.
We're at the Secrets Puerto, which means port in English.
Puerto Los Cabos.
Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort in beautiful Mexico. And they're very nice. Wow, thank you. This is our Escape to Cabo trip presented by Dermatology and Plastic Surgery and Associates and by Artistic Dentistry.
And thanks to Apple Vacations for making this trip possible. Once again, we're going to be here all week talking to some of our listeners and some of our sponsors. And one of our sponsors for this trip is Bob Walsh from North State Steel.
Yes. So Bob was able to sponsor this trip because he gave Amy and I North State Steel blankets. Yes. That's how he bribed his way on the trip. I did, and nice. I'm not kidding you. I love that blanket.
Oh, that's awesome. And I was telling you, my babysitter comes at 3 o'clock every morning. That's the blanket she grabs every morning. She loves
Bob,
it.
I want really cool. I want you to think about me wrapped in that blanket at night and nothing else.
That's an interesting thought. I'll need time. On that.
I want you to take your time to process it.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about your company, North State Steel, and you're located in Hebron, Illinois.
Hebron. Well, we call it Hebron in the business.
And the people who live there do as well.
Yes,
so,
they do.
Yeah,
yes,
so that's consistent.
Yes. It's a small little town just outside of Woodstock, of all places.
That would be McHenry County, Amy.
Yes,
yeah.
I know. I've been to Hebron.
You keep saying that, but it doesn't sound like it after the last comment.
No, it does not.
I'm not sure about that.
She also doesn't know what a steel manufacturer does. So if you can tell us what you do.
So what we do is we buy steel from the steel mills, the U.S. Steels of the world, the SDIs of the world, bring it in a coil form, cut it to sheets on machines, process it, package it, and send it out all over the Midwest to fabricators, heating and ventilation guys, anybody that builds widgets, OEM manufacturers, you name it. So it's anywhere from horse trailers to shelving units to heating and ventilation ductwork.
How many people do you employ?
Right around 35.
How long have you been in McHenry County?
Since 2008.
And I mean, McHenry County's not that far from the Wisconsin border.
You're right. It's skipping a jump away.
How's your business, and what do you feel about the Illinois business climate for your business's future?
Well, business in the past couple of years has been a lot better than it was from 2008. It's coming back a lot. We're doing pretty good. Profits are up. We feel that going forward, it should get stronger and stronger, which is a good thing. As far as the Illinois side of it, we need relief. We need help with taxes, corporate taxes.
But aren't you tempted, since you're so close, to just make that jump over the border? Are you true to your state?
True to my state. I think I'd love to make that jump, but I'm hoping that things change in Illinois. I really am. I don't know when, if and when, but we're hoping that there's some changes.
Well, maybe if things change in Illinois, you can bring all the North State Steel employees on this junket, and you don't just have to finance our candy asses to be in paradise for a week. You know what I mean?
And I mean paradise. It's beautiful here.
Yeah.
It really is nice. So, yeah, I appreciate completely you guys having us out here and doing this. This is really neat.
And we appreciate North State Steel, the sponsorship, but also just what you do to create opportunities for people and run a business in Illinois. Not an easy thing.
Yeah, we're a small business, and it's blood, sweat, and tears. It's a lot of work. It's you're doing everything you can to employ people and make them great employees and helping them out, and we just keep pressing forward.
Thank you so much, Bob Walsh from North State Steel. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
guys.
Bob. And you can watch the videos from our trip here, including our interview of Bob Walsh from North State Steel. Watch videos of our trip here in Los Cabos at 560theanswer.com/escape. Also on Chicago's Morning Answer Facebook page and our Twitter feed, which is at Morning Answer.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When did Republicans lose their backbone, their guts, their conviction? Some will say they stood up to Obama. That's easy. But who stood up to their own party? That's Marlin Stutzman. Marlin said no to the establishment by voting against John Boehner. And he fought sweetheart deals on both sides by voting against the omnibus. Because politicians refuse to get it done, Marlin authored the only conservative budget that actually balances. And to keep the Washington crowd from getting cozy, Marlin is fighting for term limits to toss the career politicians out. It's not good enough to just vote for candidates who say they're conservative. We need leaders who have the guts to act like one. Marlin knows when Republicans bend, America breaks. Stand strong, Marlin. Conservative Marlin Stutzman for Senate.
I'm Marlin Stutzman, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Stutzman for Senate.
Has on the campaign trail, and now the polls are open in Wisconsin. Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso live in Milwaukee.
Lisa, people are now voting here in Wisconsin with Ted Cruz leading the polls against GOP frontrunner Donald Trump.
Donald Trump has been supporting liberal Democratic politicians for 40 years. I have no experience in that.
We will make America great again. Thank you, Wisconsin. I love you. Go out and vote. I love you.
Trump hoping for a surprise win here, while Cruz hopes to put a dent in Trump's delegate count. And on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders leads Hillary Clinton in the polls, with state officials expecting what could be a record turnout here today. Lisa.
Thanks, Jeff. Current and former world leaders among those under scrutiny because of a law firm's leaked documents on hidden assets. Fox Radio's Simon Owen, live in London.
Lisa, in Russia, China and Pakistan, the offices of presidents and prime ministers brushing off claims of links to offshore entities. But here in Europe, opponents are making more noise. In Iceland, protesters calling for their Prime Minister to resign over his finances. And here in London, the British Prime Minister's late father is named in the leak. Opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn saying,
I think the Prime Minister, in his own interest, ought to tell us exactly what's been going on.
But David Cameron's office calling it a private matter. Lisa?
Simon, Alabama's governor publicly apologizing for inappropriate remarks to a top aide who has since resigned.
It's me. I did it. And that's why I asked the people of this state to forgive me, because they are a forgiving people.
Governor Bentley says he's put the issue in the rearview mirror. Late reports that Twitter gets the deal to stream the NFL's Thursday night games, winning the bidding against companies including Verizon, Yahoo, and Amazon. You're listening to Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
Sunny skies and 30 degrees. WIND Chicago. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. A worker is dead, 3 others hurt after a beam collapses at a Des Plaines construction site. The beam fell just after 3 a.m. along the I-90 bridge over Touhy Avenue. 2 inbound lanes of I-90 remain closed throughout the morning commute. We'll get a complete update on your commute and its the impact of the accident with Jim Talamonte in just a moment. A man is dead after being struck by a semi In New Lenox, authorities say the truck collided with Ralph Sharp yesterday on I-80. State police are investigating why the victim was in the roadway. Investigation is underway after police say a woman tried to abduct a 10-year-old girl in Aurora. The girl telling officers the suspect approached her yesterday morning while she was waiting for a ride to school. A teen girl is recovering after she was assaulted in Hinsdale. Police say a man knocked the teen to the ground yesterday near Hinsdale Avenue in Clay. The girl was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A search is on for that suspect. Chicago police appear to be spending a lot of money on overtime. It's a Sun-Times report that says the department spent a record $116 million in 2015, a 17% increase from the previous year. A group of Cook County political leaders and police officials say the way to defeat gang violence is with jobs. And AM 560's David Stewart reports the plan is to have you foot the bill.
Cook County Commissioner Richard Boykins, the sponsor of a bill to raise the county's gasoline tax to generate money for a jobs program for teens and young adults.
We are in a state of emergency. Let's give our children hope, because nothing stops a bullet like a job.
Boykins says his 4-cent a gallon increase would generate about $50 million. $45 million would be to create jobs, and $2 million would be used to hire more officers for high crime areas. The plan does have the support of Sheriff Tom Dart and the Urban League. David Stewart, Chicago.
Visitors to the Cook County Criminal Courthouse on the south side got an annoying surprise yesterday. The lockers used to store cell phones while people are in court are no longer in operation. Lockers were installed 3 years ago when the courts banned cell phones and smartphones because too many people were using them illegally to take courtroom photos and videos. Now, even though the ban remains in place, the county has decided the lockers are too costly to maintain and pose a security risk. Chicago sports, opening day baseball on the West Coast late last night. Chris Sale struck out 8 in a solid season debut and a White Sox winner over Oakland, 4-3. Cubs get a good outing from Jake Arrieta, dominant at times, in a 9-0 win over the Angels. The news service of CiCi's Pizza, ready for an adventure in flavor. CiCi's brings 3 new flatbread pizzas to the unlimited buffet. Try the new spinach Alfredo, chicken bacon club, and honey barbecue chicken. More flavors to explore for the same great value. 5 and change only at CiCi's. Better. Believe it. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The battle for the Republican nomination is racing towards the convention this summer in Cleveland.
Nobody is going to have enough delegates. We are going to go to a convention. It's going to be open.
Can Trump be stopped?
The only campaign that has beaten Donald Trump and the only campaign that can beat Donald Trump is this campaign.
Will there be a third-party run?
Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud.
What happens next?
We should make it pretty easily based on what I'm seeing.
Happens here.
So we won't have to worry about fighting at a convention.
This is AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Dan Proft with an Upstream idea brought to you by the Illinois Opportunity Project. 27. Illinois state employees, on average, receive total compensation 27% higher than their private sector counterparts. State employees made nearly $4,000 more in wages and $13,000 in benefits than private sector employees. More than half of state workers will retire before the age of 60 with a guaranteed state pension. The state is in a financial death spiral with ground impact imminent, so keep this in mind as Governor Bruce Rauner breaks off contract talks with AFSCME, the state's largest public sector union. AFSCME has been unwilling to give on its demands for annual step increases of 3.8%, in addition to annual general wage increases. The lowball estimate of the cost of what AFSCME demands is $1.6 billion. That's $1.6 billion more from Illinois families who already pay the highest property taxes in the nation. This is Governor Rauner's moment of truth. He ran for office saying he is not a politician. He said he is a businessman who will make the difficult decisions to turn around the state he loves. We're about to find out if that's true. For more Upstream ideas, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
QL1, this is Control. Ground crew is secure. Over.
Copy that, Control. Rockets powering up. Over.
QL1, this is Control. Does Rocket Mortgage require me to fill out a bunch of paperwork?
Negative, Control. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is the first on-demand mortgage machine that quickly and seamlessly imports your financial data. You can go through the entire mortgage approval process in minutes.
Copy that, QL1. That is fast, like rocket fast. Do you think that's why they named it Rocket Mortgage? Over?
Affirmative control. That's probably why they named it Rocket Mortgage. It also works on any internet-ready device, so you can get a Rocket Mortgage at any time or place you choose.
Roger that, QL1. So technically speaking, you could get a Rocket Mortgage at rocket speed from inside an actual rocket?
Please just press the button, Control. Over.
Copy that, QL1.
3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Visit for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
7:07, time to check the climate of your business with aircomfort.com. 80 years of quality mechanical solutions for your business. Let's check the roads in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Des Plaines, Toohey Avenue remains shut down until further notice between Wolf and Lee after the construction incident early this morning. And on the eastbound Adams Tollway at Toohey, 2 left lanes are blocked. It is jammed solid from around Roselle Road to Toohey. Westbound slow from the Tri-State to Toohey, where the left lane is blocked westbound as well. Eden's inbound 30 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25. The Kennedy, 35 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. The Eisenhower, with many using it as an alternate, it's already an hour and 10 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. 57 minutes from Manheim, outbound 38 to Thorndale. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. The Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, it's slow in pockets from 95th to 47th. Then from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. The Reagan Tollway, slow Farnsworth, Tuiola, Myers to Midwest, and from the Tri-State to the Eisenhower. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Clouds thickening today with a high of 45. Then for tonight, it will be breezy with occasional rain. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour with a low tonight of 39. Windy with showers tomorrow, high of 57. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently at O'Hare, 29. And along the lakefront, 32 this morning. Next news coming up at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Property Tax Show, Saturdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Brad Hayes, Chicagoland's property tax expert.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bum, 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 bum. Bruce Wolf and Deb Rowe in for Dan and Amy. We'll hear from Dan and Amy a little bit later in Cabo. And Brad Thor, the author, he types out a book like every 6 months. I had lunch with Brad Thor once at RL. Oh yeah, with a writer for Chicago Magazine, and Brad was actually typing out a novel, during our lunch.
I admire people like that.
Yeah, I have no idea how he does it, but it's great. So we'll talk to Brad, and he likes to get on his high horse about politics. I like to get into a lower horse, a little pony. So the Wisconsin primaries day, and it looks like Ted Cruz is going to win. Now, yesterday there were these town halls on Fox. I think they had them for each one of the candidates. This is Megyn Kelly was talking to Ted Cruz, and this is how low the conversation has devolved to.
Have you committed adultery in your marriage?
I have not. That attack was complete and utter garbage. It was complete lies.
Donald Trump has managed to humanize Ted Cruz, which is no mean feat, to humanize Herman Munster. It's very, very difficult to do, but now he's made Ted Cruz like a sympathetic character.
Did he do that, or did the Inquirer do that?
Oh, Donald Trump?
No.
The two are the same. I mean, Donald Trump's best friend. If Donald Trump's friend is the Inquirer publisher.
Let me tell you something, Bruce. Ted Koppel, you remember him?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I remember him.
He did a piece
Tell
once.
me, Deb, can black women float? As Al Campanis once told me.
Why is that even a question? That's my real question to you. Why would you even ask me such a stupid question?
There you go again.
There you go again.
Okay, yes, Ted Koppel.
All right. He actually did a piece on the Inquirer, and they have probably the highest rate of accuracy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they do.
Well,
And
I mean,
all of a
seriously?
sudden- Yeah, seriously.
By the way, they are the ones who broke the Jesse Jackson baby story
Absolutely.
because no Chicago station would ever touch that. No Chicago TV station would ever touch Jesse Jackson's illegitimate kid.
I was
Yeah.
on Chicago Tonight talking about that. They talked about it. Here's the thing.
Who was the host that day?
Phil Ponce. And guess who else was on that show?
Wait. Let's play charades.
Go ahead.
Who was on the Chicago Tonight Show that night back then?
Yeah.
Okay. Joel Weissman.
Wasn't Joel.
Oh, okay. How many more guesses? I got 2 more guesses. Len O'Connor. Was Len O'Connor on the show?
Nope.
No. It's got to be a local celebrity or something like that. Who would be on Chicago Tonight discussing politics? Chelveston the Duck. Chelveston the Duck was on.
No, it wasn't Chelveston.
All right, so who was it?
It was a young state representative, Barack Obama.
Oh,
and myself.
really?
And
what was his name at that point? Barry Soetoro?
No, it was Barack
What was
Obama.
What was his opinion on
We've
anything?
done a couple of shows on Chicago Tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing was, and not to even go down that road, you just kept saying, I agree with Deborah. I agree with Deborah.
Barack Obama was a good.
yes.
So how come you didn't become his chief of staff and you wind up here working with me as a fill-in for a couple of people who are in Cabo right now? Look at the trajectories of the careers. He becomes the president. Why don't you write Dreams from My Mother? Okay, I could have gotten Bill Ayers to
Bill
write.
Ayers wouldn't,
exactly.
agree to
All right,
do
go
that.
ahead. What's your point?
My point is this. Ted Koppel, I thought, really made the point about the National Enquirer. Celebrities run to it to break the story, like Bill Cosby did, and so many others. And then they do this big
Bill
press thing.
Cosby ran to the National Enquirer
Yes,
to break
he did.
what story?
That he had an illegitimate daughter.
Oh, I thought he ran to the National Enquirer to confess his sins.
And
Okay.
celebrities often say, we're going to sue, we're going to sue.
Deborah, would you like a pudding
And
pop?
it's not true. They never sue. And people think they're suing.
Right. Well, because of the actual malice standards,
Which brings me
right,
to my
okay.
point.
Yeah.
Trump had nothing to do with that. That's the Enquirer's own
Now who's
work.
being naive, Kate? Excuse me. End of Godfather 1. We'll have Godfather 2 coming up after this.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, I didn't realize you were on a panel with Barack Hussein Obama. I'm sorry. You sat next to greatness. You should have me do the weather. This is way too low. No, you go ahead and do the weather. Deborah Rowe with the weather right now.
Today, thickening clouds, a high of 45. Tonight, increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder. Expect a high of 56. On the roads, Jim Talamonte is on top of it.
Thank you, Deborah and Bruce. Eastbound Adams Tollway jammed solid 53 to Toohey, where 2 left lanes are blocked due to a construction incident on Toohey at Wolf Road. Toohey is closed as well between Wolf and Lee. Westbound, there's a left lane closed on I-90 at Toohey. The delays start at the Tri-State. Eden's inbound 30 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 25. The Kennedy, 35 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. The Eisenhower, it's jammed from the Reagan Tollway to Kedzie, an hour and 10 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 41 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36 minutes. The Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Lakeshore Drive, southbound now heavy from 18th to the Stevenson. Tri-State northbound, slow in pockets from 95th to 47th, and from the Reagan Tollway through the Grand Avenue curve. Reagan Tollway slow Farnsworth to Wiola Byers to Midwest, and from the Tri-State to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial heavy from 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Whoa, this is heavy.
Hello?
If you're going to take a vacation this year, why not make it a vacation you'll remember for a lifetime? Imagine taking a trip that's more than just a vacation. Imagine taking a trip that brings history to life. History that includes the Greek Parthenon, the Acropolis, Malta, Rome, Naples, Jerusalem, and many other places. This is exactly what you'll experience on the Footsteps of the Apostles Mediterranean Cruise, which I am considering. It's happening this fall aboard Celebrity Cruise Line's Silhouette Cruise Liner. Experience the sights and sounds of the places where faith, culture, and history intersect. This 15-day trip includes stops in Italy, Greece, Israel, Malta, and Turkey. You'll travel in luxury on a premier cruise ship with deluxe accommodations and all meals included. Don't take another vacation. Take a trip that you'll remember for a lifetime. For more information and to book your trip, visit footstepsoftheapostlestour.com. That's footstepsoftheapostlestour.com.
Hey, the security officers at your business are an extension of your business. Because they are, you got to have the best. Often the first person your customer meets is your security officer, so they need to be professional, friendly, and courteous. Hey, if you're having issues with your security provider, don't tolerate it. Man, call Guardian Security Services. They're friends of mine. They're at the top of their game, setting the bar for customer service for the past 41 years in Chicago. Easy to reach if you have questions. They pride themselves on a client retention ratio greater than 95% and the best training and vetting practices in the industry. Hey, if you're unhappy with your on-site security officer or doorman, hey, call Guardian Security Services. Get a free consultation and tell them Joe Walsh sent you. Right now, call 708-385-3300. That's 708-385-3300 or online at guardiansecurityinc.com.
No matter what type of business you're in, having a strong business banking partnership can help your bottom line. I'm Jeff Boundy, president of Cornerstone National Bank and Trust Company. We strongly believe that trust, service, and relationship are the cornerstone of a successful business banking partnership. Customers like Rick Williams of Pump Supply agree.
Hi, my name is Rick Williams, owner of Pump Supply Incorporated. As a business owner, I recognize the importance of relationships. I need a bank that understands my business and is able to respond quickly and creatively to the needs of my company. Cornerstone has been a valuable business partner and has helped me grow my company and seize opportunities as I come across them. Whether it's providing a line of credit or financing the acquisition of equipment or real estate, Cornerstone has been there for me every step of the way.
Thanks, Rick. Please visit cornerstonenb.com, or I invite you to give me a call at 847-654-3000 to explore a business banking partnership.
Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
We Got a Bingo is the interactive comedy everyone is raving about.
We got a bingo.
What's your favorite part of the show?
The bingo caller. Lucky.
The priest.
The music.
The leader hose guy. How would you describe the show to your friend?
Unbelievable. It's funny.
Very interactive, entertaining.
Critics rave, saying We Got a Bingo is a hilarious night of bingo and beer. The polka band rocks.
I'd come again and again and again and again.
You just have to go see it.
Be a hero to your family and friends. Call 312-391-0404 or visit WeGotABingo.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick IAQ test for my buddy Bill.
Wait, I didn't study.
IAQ stands for Indoor Air Quality, something 1 hour excels at.
Well, I aced my SATs, so...
Yes or no? Do you breathe inside your home?
Yeah.
And what do you breathe?
Air.
And what's in that air?
Air?
Sorry, we were looking for dust mites, household pollutants, even formaldehyde.
Wait, I need to move.
Or you could call 1 hour and improve your IAQ.
That sounds smarter.
Let's see how you do with the disclaimer.
Each independent franchise is licensed in its respective state or county.
Not bad.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hi, I'm Lex Howard, CEO of Balance of Nature. I occasionally take new customer calls, and often people tell me that they have been hearing our advertisements for years. What are you waiting for? Start now and begin experiencing the benefits of Balance of Nature in your life.
I'm going to tell you right now, and this is crazy. I just went to the dentist, and I had a tooth cleaning, and she's like amazed. She goes, your teeth are great. She goes, I don't even need to be doing this work. And, you know, and health-wise, heart-wise, stamina-wise, it's unbelievable. I just adore your products. I wish I could talk to everybody individually, give them my phone number and say, if you don't believe me, call me up. I'll tell you. It's the best thing you ever did in your life.
Good health is just a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Call now and take the health challenge to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hola, hola, muchachos. We're at the Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort in beautiful Mexico on our Escape to Cabo trip, presented by Dermatology and Plastic Surgery and Associates and by Artistic Dentistry.
And we want to thank Apple Vacations for making this trip possible. We're here with dozens of AM 560 listeners, including a couple of listeners that came all the way from Colorado. Jonathan and
Jennifer. J&J, Dan. It's J&J.
J squared is how I like to refer to it. They, I believe, like everyone in Colorado, run a medical marijuana dispensary there. Is that right?
It's a family business.
Yes.
Yep. Together.
Right. And
children involved in it.
You're high right now, aren't you?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Right.
No, but it's great because Jonathan and Jennifer used to live in Illinois, and they listened to you on the other station.
Yes.
With John, Wade, and Roma.
Yes.
And then you moved, of course, to the Better Place. And they moved out of state, and they listen every morning on our app from Estes Park, Colorado.
This is like an episode of This Is My Life.
I know.
Jonathan and Jennifer. Thank you. So you're in Colorado, and you left Chicago, but you still pay attention to what goes on in Illinois.
We do. Our parents all live there, and so when you guys get 10 buckets of snow, that lets me know that my dad might have a heart attack shoveling on that day.
Oh, it's very nice.
That's
Nice
how
thought.
I can keep up with everything. But all of our family lives there. Everybody.
So, but you want to keep up with local politics and with what's happening in Chicago. But
politics are boring, so we want to keep up with your politics because they're more exciting.
What?
So you like some of the guests we have on?
Play.
Oh yeah, of course.
What's your favorite moment so far listening to the Dan and Amy show?
Okay, so I will.
This is it.
This right now. No, so we, as I told you yesterday, so you guys are on when we're getting the kids ready for school in the morning, and so we're playing you in the background, and my kids wake up and eat breakfast to us just screaming about Illinois politics, listening to you guys screaming about Illinois
And
politics.
then your kids says, hey, turn that racket off.
No,
right?
they know exactly who you guys are.
Do they know you're with us this week?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
We could get syndicated in Colorado thanks to this. So, Jonathan, Jennifer, what do you guys actually do in Colorado?
Okay, so I'm a graphic designer, and I pick colors and make things look pretty. What do you do?
I work for Camping World, but they allow me to work out of my office in Colorado and take care of my medical marijuana business.
That's very nice. And it's also nice that now Jennifer knows what you do for a living.
Yeah.
She didn't know until
Every
this
time
moment.
he says it, I don't pay attention, though. So when he just said it now, I don't really...
It's the short attention span from the THC.
And Camping World's based in Lincolnshire, Illinois.
That's correct. Yep, that's our corporate office.
What do you do for Camping World?
I actually just kind of help with their finance departments. So finance insurance, whenever we sell an RV, we arrange loans and such for our clients.
I love RVs. If you want me to test any products out with my children and now my new dog, you can please feel free.
Absolutely, I'll set you up.
It's very, very generous offer from Amy. So do you ever feel like maybe, I don't know, our life is too good in Colorado, maybe we'll move back to Illinois?
No.
Oh, all the
No.
time.
No.
All the time. Every time your taxes get raised, I'm jealous. It hurts. It's hard. Every
your
time
weather's
another
great.
crook is elected, it hurts, because
We had a teacher strike in downtown Chicago on Friday. That would have been
missed
fun.
it. As a working mom, I love when my children just randomly have no school.
Random days off. We love that. And you know what's so funny? Speaking of the teacher strike, I know it was last week, but I went in front of our school, never saw one teacher protesting. Went in front of Lane Tech, nothing, and in front of Lakeview High School, never saw a teacher or anybody out there
And it's
picketing.
interesting because in Colorado, Jonathan and Jennifer also saw no teachers striking. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
And,
yes.
Yeah, and marijuana and cannabis is funding our school system, so our kids are going to be extra smart.
Jonathan and Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for coming to Cabo. We appreciate it.
It's been terrible so far. All the sun and beach and everything.
Un-Colorado-like.
And I got to tell you, thank you so much for listening every morning, being dedicated listeners all the way from Estes Park, Colorado. That's impressive.
And you watch us on the video, right?
I do, and you guys are mean to each other. Oh, my
Yeah, I
goodness.
know. I've been meaning to bring that up with Amy.
So,
We're going to counseling later.
Yeah.
We want to keep this light and
That's
fun
good,
right
but
now.
it's good to know. It reminds us that we're on video, so because sometimes I forget to wear pants.
it's maybe 12. I know. My children know, too, because like I said, we all watch together.
Some days they think he looks homeless?
No.
No, they want us to write his name in for president. Is what they
Oh,
want.
see?
Yeah.
That's good. In Chicago, they could vote. All right, Jonathan and Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. You can watch videos of our interview with Jonathan and Jennifer from Estes Park, Colorado, and from our trip here in Los Cabos at 560theanswer.com/escape. Also on Chicago's Morning Answer Facebook page and our Twitter feed at Morning Answer.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
CertaPro painters are here for every stage of your life, from moving into a new home, creating the ideal nursery, to reinventing your living space. CertaPro painting experts create the perfect setting while you do life. They came to our home and brightened our walls and our moods so very quiet they wouldn't wake a baby. But the best part? They clean up after themselves so you don't have to do it. And now that spring is here, it is the perfect time to spruce up your home's exterior. Take a look at your home. Do you see chipping, peeling, fading? Well, leave it to CertaPro painting experts to refresh, renew, and protect your biggest investment, your home. Now is the time to call for your free estimate and schedule your exterior painting project. 1-800-GO-CERTA, 1-800-GOCERTA. That's CERTA with a C. Or visit CertaPro.com today, CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Hi, this is Shalom Klein of Get Down to Business, the show for small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship, powered by Tandem HR. The way you are buying your investments could be a major wealth leak, especially if you buy fee-heavy mutual funds. According to Everett Wealth Solutions, knowing just how much you are paying for your investments is crucial. Do your homework. Over a 30-year period of time, you could be losing $300,000 or more. That's money that should be in your retirement account, not the mutual fund company coffers. Everett says to consider robo-advising, a system that uses algorithms to invest in low-cost ETFs or exchange-transferred funds. You get intelligent, cost-effective design, which can improve performance and help eliminate expensive wealth leaks. Work with a fiduciary advisor who will educate you and recommend what is always in your best interest. For more tips, advice, and stories of entrepreneurial successes, listen to Get Down to Business with me, Shalom Klein, heard Sunday evenings at 6. Your Business Minute of the Day is brought to you by Everett Wealth Solutions.
This is Pete. I've had 3 missing teeth and have been thinking for a while about getting something done to get them replaced. I went to Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics to see what they could do, and I'm glad that I did that. The staff there was fantastic. Dr. Neruzzi made sure I was comfortable during the entire process, always checking to make sure there was no pain. All my visits were very pleasant, and I'm glad I had it done. Another piece that made it fantastic was they worked with me on the payment. As all of us know, these are not inexpensive items to do, so they worked with me on the payment options as well as with my insurance carrier to help minimize my out-of-pocket cost. I feel so much better now that I've had my teeth and my dental implants put in. I feel more confident as I'm walking around. For those of you out there that are missing teeth and thinking about doing this, I would recommend you see Dr. Neruzzi and his staff. They're great, and I would highly recommend them going forward.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants. Go to implantsforme.com.
For missing teeth, dental implants are wonderful. The advantages are fantastic. Just remember, implantsforme.com. Implantsforme.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up, super spy novelist Brad Thor. That's not a list there. That's how you pronounce his name. It's Thor. But I'm a little sore from some of the calisthenics I was doing this morning. And now it's time, thank you, Biff. Now it's time for the news with Mike Scott.
Brad Thor, former Chicagoan.
Of course.
Yeah.
Expatriate. We'll talk about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sunny and 30 degrees, winds east at 3. Polls are open in Wisconsin this morning, the state that holds both Republican and Democratic presidential primaries today. On the GOP side, front runner Donald Trump facing a strong challenge from Ted Cruz. This morning, reporters caught up with voters exiting the polling place, including this voter who says the billionaire businessman has his support.
I do believe he's the most reformative candidate, although Bernie says he's reformative and Hillary kind of says she's reformative like Bernie. I do believe Trump will do the best for this country.
On the opposite side of the aisle, Hillary Clinton finds herself in a position similar to Trump's, with rival Bernie Sanders polling well in the Badger State. Celebration is on after Villanova defeats North Carolina in one of the most memorable NCAA basketball championship games in the last quarter century. Chris Jenkins nailed a three-pointer at the buzzer to give the Cats a 77-74 win.
Couldn't be happier to see them enjoy this and fulfill their dreams. And that's what it's all about for a coach, just to see their eyes, to see their satisfaction, their enjoyment. There's no better feeling in the world.
Villanova head coach Jay Wright on his team. 5 are dead after a sightseeing helicopter crashed in eastern Tennessee. The chopper went down near Pigeon Forge. Officials say there was not much left of that helicopter, which burst into flames after the crash. Almost 24 NYPD officers, including 3 deputy chiefs, are now reportedly being investigated by the FBI. It's a New York Post story this morning. Federal investigators say they got red flags on the group allegedly accepting gifts and trips abroad in exchange for favors, especially after a business deal involving friends of New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio went bad. It's a big digital deal, and it impacts your device. Many NFL fans enjoy following games on Twitter during the season. This fall, you will actually be able to watch a game through the social media outlet. Bloomberg first reporting that Twitter has won the rights to stream NFL's Thursday night football games. We're following a developing and tragic story here in the Chicago area. 3 are hurt, 1 dead after a beam collapsed at a Des Plaines construction site along I-90 over Touhy Avenue. The inbound lanes of I-90 remaining closed throughout much of the morning commute. And an investigation is underway after police say a woman tried to abduct a 10-year-old girl in Aurora. Child telling officers the suspect approached her yesterday morning while she was waiting for a ride to school. Chicago sports. Baseball's opening day a success for the Northsiders and the Southsiders. White Sox winners in Oakland 4-3, while the Cubs were 9-0 winners over the Angels. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, buy a Napa 5-gallon bucket for $3.99 and get 20% off any items you can fit in it. Plus, they'll donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund for every bucket sold. That's Napa know-how. Minimum 3 items. Some exclusions may apply. 7:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager doesn't get Trump supporters.
It is clear to me from emails that many Trump supporters feel this way, and what they're in effect saying, they regard the Republican Party as either as big a problem for the country as the Democratic Party or as an even bigger problem. I 100% disagree.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Here Maps, the free app that helps you beat the jam with live traffic info and public transit schedules. Get it now at here.com/commute.
Before I met Dr. John, I was in constant back pain, an 8 or 9 out of 10, taking Vicodin every single day. So I went to an orthopedist, a neurologist, and even a pain management clinic. Then I went to see Dr. John, and he looked at my pain from a whole new perspective.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Chavez, chiropractor in St. Charles, to remind you that your pain is not the result of a pain medicine deficiency, and that treatment should focus on the source of your pain, not the symptom. That's what chiropractors do, and if you don't already have one, I'd love the chance to tell you why I have the best job in the world.
After only a few weeks, my pain went down to maybe a 1 or a 2, and I'm totally off of Vicodin. Dr. John really helped me get my life back.
Find me at chirojohn.com. That's chirojohn.com. Or call me at 630-715-9192. Call to see if I can help you. 715-9192.
7:34. Let's get an update on the roads in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Des Plaines, Touhy remains shut down between Wolf and Lee due to that early morning construction incident, and lanes remain blocked on the Adams Tollway at Touhy. 2 left lanes eastbound, 1 left lane westbound. It is a huge delay eastbound from Gulf Road to Touhy, westbound JAD from the Kennedy Expressway to Touhy. The Kennedy is getting heavier too now at 50 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 35. Eden's 35 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 25. The Eisenhower is a very popular alternate to the Adams Tollway, and it is a massive delay from the Reagan Tollway to Ashland now. An hour and 25 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, an hour 12 from Manheim, outbound 40 minutes to Manheim, an hour 10 to Thorndale. There's a stalled semi near Addison Road blocking a center lane. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound it's fine. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95 to downtown. Traffic service of Batteries Plus Bulbs. Right now at Batteries Plus Bulbs, save $10 on Duracell Ultra motorcycle batteries after mail-in rebate. 23 locations in the Chicagoland area. See Batteries Plus Bulbs? Make that batteriesplus.com for details. Batteries Plus Bulbs. Trust the plus. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the aircomfort.com Weather Center, 80 years of quality mechanical solutions for your business. This morning we have sunshine, but clouds will be on the increase throughout the day. High 45, leading to a windy evening with occasional rain and a low of 40. 29 at O'Hare, 32 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. And with Dan and Amy and listeners in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. with Bruce Wolf and Deborah Rowe, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by attorney John DeWatt, using the power of bankruptcy law to rein in the IRS. ThinkingOutsideTheBoxLaw.com.
Let not your heart be troubled. Listen to me, Sean Hannity. I'll have the latest news and what it all means for you. It's coming up at 2 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
I love this song. Bing! The old typewriter. I think that, I can name that type. I can tell by the typing, by the keystrokes. Mm-hmm. That sounds like Alger Hiss's Woodstock cha-cha that he used to write the pumpkin papers to Whittaker Chambers. Boy, do I miss Dennis Miller. Boy, do I miss Bruce Wolf and Deborah Rowe in for Dan and Amy. We'll hear from... See, there's not many DJs. I mean, you listen to, like, Brant Miller right now on, doing rock and roll. He's not going to be able to tell you, what typewriter it is by the sound of it.
No, but you make me feel
like a natural woman? No. Oh, I sure do.
Like I'm in some movie from, like, the 1940s or 1950s, or I'm at a show in the Catskills somewhere. That's how you make me feel.
Because I'm a Borscht Belt. I'm Shecky Wolf. You stereotypical.
Shecky Green. That's the name I was looking for.
I was looking for Al Green. All right.
Hey.
All right. It always comes back to the Jew thing. I can never transcend that. I should be playing the
Catskills
Catskills or the Schwartzes in Elkhart Lake, Indiana, or Oakton Manor in Wisconsin. Sure. I can never transcend that.
You can't.
I never could be a headliner.
But you always break out and whatever
you
say.
All right.
It's funny, though. It's funny. It's funny.
Thanks. All right. Appreciate that. So let's hear Kasich. I think they had 3 town halls yesterday on Fox. Let's hear Kasich talking about Trump whining.
The reason why Trump said Kasich needs to get out, I mean, think about what this guy said. He said he needs to get out because he's getting my votes, and I want to have my votes. This is not fair.
That's pretty funny. Now,
I want him to go and sit down somewhere.
Kasich?
Yes.
Why? He's got a right to be in there.
Everybody has rights, but he's just obstructing the whole process.
Hey, do you know Brad Thor?
I don't, but I'm looking at his book list, and it's very
his new
exciting.
book is A Foreign Agent. He types one out. I mean, we just heard his typewriter before.
Okay.
And he still
that
used the old
that.
Woodstock that Alger Hiss used. And Brad, first of all, Brad, hello. How are you?
Well, my friend. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Brad.
All right, so here's the thing about Brad. Brad and I mean, we go way back, like to 2 years ago, I think. So he has me to go to lunch with him at the RL on Michigan Avenue.
Yes.
It's like the classiest place in the world. There's a guy from Chicago Magazine who wants to interview Brad to talk about Chicago and how great it is, because that's what Chicago Magazine's all. Or no, it's Michigan Avenue Magazine or whatever. It was one of those magazines. It's all about how great Chicago is. Brad spends 2.5 hours sitting there blasting Chicago because he's moving out of town, going to Tennessee. And the guy is sitting there going, I have nothing to say, but I love the food at RL. So I'm saying, Brad, your lobster bisque is getting cold. Can I have some of it? Sure, go ahead, Bruce. As a matter of fact, I was just starting to eat off his plate because all he was doing was filibustering. And at the end, the guy says, it's very nice, Brad, but you realize this whole story has to be positive about Chicago. So he basically, boiled it down to like 2 quotes from Brad Thor.
So you asked for his lobster bisque. I thought you were going to say, enough about Brad. Now, I'm Bruce Wolf.
I didn't care about it. I cared about the free meal because there is a such thing as a free lunch when you're going out with Brad Thor. Yes, his new book is Foreign Agent. Brad, I got to tell you something. News story right here. You'll love this one. Mm-hmm. It just came out today. 3,000. Chicago has lost a net 3,000 millionaires. This is people with assets of $3 million. Not people like you that make $40 million a year on every book that you got. Forget about it. 3,000 millionaires.
It's one of the top 4 cities in the world to lose high net worth individuals. Yes. Paris and Rome were above Chicago, and then so it's Paris, Rome, Chicago, then Athens, Greece. So as people flee the horrible Muslim immigration and terrible taxation in Europe, they are fleeing Chicago for the terrible taxation and the crime.
You should know Brad has gone down like to Tennessee. I think he'd rather live with where Obama wants to relocate the Gitmo prisoners than actually live in Chicago. So he left, and the reason given on the radio that I heard this morning on the News Time, the 741 station, was because of racial tensions and crime in Chicago. But that's not, millionaires aren't living in that area. It's because of the taxes, right, Brad?
No, it is totally the taxes, but I will tell you this, that it was just a week ago, somebody got shot a block away from my old house at State and Division. Somebody got shot outside P.J. Clark's.
Thank you, Brad. I'm trying to tell him it's everywhere.
Oh, well, you're just trying to wreck the property values here. Thanks so much, Brad.
Bruce, but that's one of the reasons we're paying some of the highest property taxes in the nation in Cook County, right there on the Gold Coast. And the mayor was shutting down the beaches because of gang violence.
That's right,
I mean, we couldn't use all of these assets we were paying for with our very high real estate taxes. So I was paying more and more, but getting less and less.
Hey, speaking of Rahm Emanuel, who I think is the latter-day Jim Crow mayor because he disenfranchised the Chicago black citizens by not letting the Laquan McDonald video out. And now crime has spiked in Chicago, so he's got blood on his hands. Of course, he's used to it, having cut off one of his fingers at an Arby's a long time ago. So Brad, how glad are you that you don't live in Chicago?
Well, listen, I love Chicago very much. My dad grew up in Roseland. My mom's from Park Forest, and I was raised downtown.
Yeah.
So, down in the hundreds is where my dad's from. But, when you've got the Chicago Reader did a great piece about how gang members that don't have felony convictions are a 62,000 vote strong voting bloc for the Democrat machine in Chicago. And now you know why they're not cracking down on crime. And what kills me as a constitutional conservative is that there are black and Hispanic children in Chicago that cannot play outside. They can't enjoy a lemonade stand because they are going to get shot. There are good, hardworking, decent black and brown families in Chicago that cannot get ahead because the city of Chicago won't do anything about the violence. And as an American, that pisses me off. It's not right. Chicago should be a city people want to run to, not run from.
Well, Brad, I've got to get in here. First of all, you are amazing. And you need to come back to Chicago, and you should run for mayor. In all seriousness.
John Cass wants to start a campaign. Cass said he'd be my campaign manager
I want to be
for mayor.
I want to be on the team.
Yeah, but
seriously.
but how are we going to keep your income up here? We're going to have a slush fund. It's going to be the worst scandal in Chicago history. Before we let you go, because we know you have to type another novel because Foreign Agent is coming out very shortly, and you got to get to work on the next one. My thing is, everybody loves something about Trump but hates himself for it. So, I mean, are you conflicted at all? Would you vote for Trump if he winds up being the nominee?
No, I think Trump has a terrible authoritarian streak in him. And when he made fun of the New York Times reporter, Sergei Kovalevsky, who was born with fetal alcohol syndrome and is terribly disabled, anybody can be that cruel and that casually vile should automatically be disqualified from a leadership position. Trump is a strong man in waiting. He will not make America great again. And if you look at the story about his top strategist who defected and said, I was hired to get him to second place. They never wanted to win. This was always a PR stunt by Trump. And even Trump is stunned by how well he's doing. This guy does not belong anywhere near the Oval Office. We've got problems, big ones, but he is a dangerous person to allow those stubby little fingers to get anywhere near the levers of power.
All right, Brad, we appreciate your coming on. The book is called Foreign Agent. Next time you're in Chicago, we'll go to P.J. Clark's, and we'll wear the outfit that Beyonce wore at the Super Bowl to scare off everybody.
I'll bring the bulletproof vest, Bruce.
Thank you. And by the way, your lobster bisque is getting cold. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Brad
Thank you,
Thor, back with Dan and Amy from Cabo.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Now it's time for a look at the weather with Deborah.
How about I turn on my mic?
Sure.
All right, we've got thickening clouds today, a high of 45, and then tonight increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder. Expect your high today of 56. Jim Talamonte, what's happening on the roads?
Well, Deb, it's the same deal in Des Plaines. Touhy Avenue remains shut down between Wolf and Lee after a major construction incident this morning at Touhy and Wolf, and there are lanes closed on the eastbound Adams Tollway, 2 left lanes at Touhy. It's a real mess from Gulf Road to Touhy on the eastbound side and from the Kennedy Expressway to Touhy on the westbound side, where there's 1 left lane closed as well. And there are delays Roselle Road to Barrington Road with some road work in the right lane. On the Kennedy, this is affecting things too on the outbound side with delays From Montrose much of the way to the Adams Tollway. It's 40 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Till this delay started Fullerton inbound. Slow Sayre into downtown Chicago. It's 50 minutes O'Hare to the Loop. Eden's 35 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 25. The Eisenhower. Jammed from the Reagan Tollway to Ashland. An hour and 25 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound an hour and 10 minutes. A stalled semi near Addison Road has cleared. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Orion is 30 minutes. 95th to downtown. Delays on the northbound Tri-State are in pockets from 95th to 31st, and it's very slow from the Cermak Toll Plaza to the Grand Avenue curve. Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to drill down and talk about the big ideas behind the big issues. That's where Upstream Ideas comes in. Upstream Ideas, online at upstream-ideas.com, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted orthodoxies. In other words, Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now to upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to spur you on to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit more free, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Congratulations to all who took the Balance of Nature New Year's Challenge. Success stories are pouring in. So many people have been helped through this incentive that I have asked Balance of Nature to continue this challenge for as long as possible.
I do feel slightly better. I can't explain it. It's like underlying. I can't explain it. I broke my leg twice, my left leg, and it used to bother me, but now it's not bothering me that much. I mean, you know, I also bowl on Friday nights. I mean, it used to kill me, but now I find that I could do that and without being in any discomfort.
Good health is just a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Call now and take the health challenge to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When did Republicans lose their backbone, their guts, their conviction? Some will say they stood up to Obama. That's easy. But who stood up to their own party? That's Marlin Stutzman. Marlin said no to the establishment by voting against John Boehner. And he fought sweetheart deals on both sides by voting against the omnibus. Because politicians refuse to get it done, Marlin authored the only conservative budget that actually balances. And to keep the Washington crowd from getting cozy, Marlin is fighting for term limits to toss the career politicians out. It's not good enough to just vote for candidates who say they're conservative. We need leaders who have the guts to act like one. Marlin knows when Republicans bend, America breaks. Stand strong, Marlin. Conservative Marlin Stutzman for Senate.
I'm Marlin Stutzman, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Stutzman for Senate.
AM 560. The Answer.
Vaya con Dios. Is that right?
Yeah. One with
Hola, we're at the Secrets Puerto, which means port in English. Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort in beautiful Mexico on our Escape to Cabo trip, presented by Dermatology and Plastic Surgery and Associates and by Artistic Dentistry.
And we want to thank Apple Vacations for making this wonderful, gorgeous trip possible. And for people who have sponsored us. I know we have a lot of fans here, but we also have sponsors here. And one is Steve Leahy. He is the host of the IRS Radio Hour Sunday nights at 5 p.m. on AM 560.
And before we get to all that, Steve Leahy is also an inveterate Cubs fan. So I wanna hear you say, this is the year.
You know, I'm not going to say that, Dan, good. Because I am a big, lifelong Cub fan, and I won't say it until it happens.
All right, very good. Well, good restraint on his part.
He's a smart man. Are you going to opening day?
Oh, yeah.
So am I. I'll see you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been a season ticket holder for 22 years now. So
wow. And what has that got
22 years of futility.
Heartbreak, heartache.
All right. So in his regular life, in addition to dealing with the heartbreak of terrible baseball, he has to deal with the IRS because Steve Leahy is an attorney who helps people who have problems with that paramilitary organization known as the IRS.
Exactly correct. I help people. That's what we always say. We help people deal with their IRS problems, and that's what my show's about too. On AM 560, The Answer.
Sunday nights at 5. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. I got a phone call the other day, and I told you about this before we left. A guy calling saying, it was a robocall. This is the IRS. You are being sued by the IRS.
In.
No, you're being sued by the IRS. Call this number. And I was really upset because I'm like, you don't get sued by the IRS. You get audited by the IRS. And dummy me, I called the number back. And the guy said, they're at a very loud call center. And you can hear him say, if you don't believe this is the IRS, then hang up. I said, okay, I'm hanging up. And I hung up on him. So what's going on? Have you heard about this scam?
All the time. I get this call a couple times a week. People call, say, I got the IRS call me. I had a friend of mine, attorney, right down the hall for me, and he calls me on at 7 o'clock. I just got off the phone with the IRS. They said they're coming to arrest me. They want $3,500. It's not the IRS. So
and shockingly, that's actually not how the IRS. It's how you think the IRS would work, but actually they don't.
That's true. They don't. They usually will send you lots of letters before they start coming after you, and that's what that's what happens.
I'm not into big government, but we need to put those people behind bars because they're giving people heart attacks.
They are giving people, but I think it's all off coast.
Right.
These are all foreigners.
It's like an identity theft scam.
Yes,
right?
absolutely right. And I tell you, I've listened to some of these. People really buy into this though, because they're afraid of the IRS.
Sure they are.
So when you're afraid of the IRS, you're going to do what they say, and you say, I don't really owe the IRS any money, and that's you think they would do like a $14,000 or $25,000 but they do $3,500. It's more, maybe I made a mistake on my tax return.
So what are the most common questions you get from people, or the most common troubleshooting that you have to do when people have challenges with the IRS?
I think, especially this time of year, it's unfiled tax returns. People get afraid because they owe the IRS money.
Like Wesley Snipes.
Exactly. He went to jail for 3 years, and what he went to jail for was not filing his tax returns. Because if you don't file your tax returns, you could get a year for every year that you don't file. They can give you a year in prison. Now, most people don't go to jail because they owe the IRS. They don't file their tax returns. But what happens is, if you don't file, the IRS files for you, and then all of a sudden they tell you that you owe 10 times more than you really do.
And also, just because it's this time of year, one of the things that seems to me, and it's probably something you deal with on a daily basis, always file your tax return and understand the IRS doesn't want to litigate this either. They want to settle, so get to a professional like you who can troubleshoot this for them. Don't run away from the problem.
Absolutely. And everybody says, you can call the IRS yourself, and that's true, you can. But the problem is they're going to take advantage of you because you're scared of them. And they don't know what the law. You don't know what the law is. They do, and they're going to use that to their advantage. And so you try to get out of this problem, and you can get out of the problem. I don't care how much you owe the IRS. You can get out of the problem, and I think that's what scares people. The number gets so large that people say, "There's nothing I can do," and they just throw their hands in the air, and then they don't file their tax returns. So that's the mistake. That's the biggest mistake. File your tax return on time, even if you owe the IRS money.
Hypothetically speaking, say the IRS sends you a notice, audits you, you owe $10,000. Hiring an attorney like yourself, how low can you get that?
Okay, and this is the question that everybody asks. Can you reduce what I owe the IRS? And the answer is sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can't. But
you can set up structured payments.
Exactly. Because think about it. If I pay on time and I have to pay what I owe the IRS, if I don't pay on time, I'm going to pay less? That doesn't make any sense.
Now, I have a hypothetical question, too. Say I'm an Illinois resident, and I move to Los Cabos. Do I still have to file tax returns with the United States government?
The answer is absolutely yes. Yes, you do. You can, and that's a big thing now. People, they're going after people. I get a lot of calls now from people who lived overseas for many years, and now their financial institutions are coming and, hey, you got to report all this, and you got to come. So that's a big thing now with the IRS. They're going after United States citizens, no matter where you live, and you have to pay taxes.
So I can't even escape them in Los Cabos.
That's not even at this beautiful place. Well, I always call it the Chicagoization of the federal government, and that's really what's happening. Because now, if you owe the IRS money, they'll take away your passport, and that's something new. And again,
I almost didn't come on this trip. because of the phone call. They're like, you were going to take your passport unless you send $2,500.
But she wanted to get here before Trump builds that wall, and she can't come anymore.
Well, thank you so much, Steve Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. And we'll be here all week. We'll be talking with some of the listeners who came along, as well as some of the sponsors who've joined us, like Steve Leahy.
And you can watch videos from our trip in Los Cabos by going to 560theanswer.com/escape, and also on the Chicago Morning Answer Facebook page and Twitter feed, which is at Morning Answer.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer. And now, a moment of objectivism with Yaron Brook and the Ayn Rand Institute.
The critics of income inequality say they are for social justice. But what does that mean? It means that if you're really productive, if you work hard, create lots of wealth, and make a lot of money, you're doing something bad. You're creating inequality. So what's fair? Well, what's fair is that government take a bunch of your money and give it to other people. Why do they deserve it? Because they didn't create much wealth. That's what it comes down to. Social justice says to punish people who've done nothing wrong for the sake of other people who have not been wronged. On the other hand, justice says to punish people for the wrong they've done to others. To learn more, visit ARIradio.com. From the Ayn Rand Institute, I'm Yaron Brook.
This has been a moment of objectivism from the Ayn Rand Institute. To learn more, listen to the Yaron Brook Show, Saturdays at 4 on AM 560, and visit ARIradio.com.
Why are Ayn Rand's ideas so compelling? Her worldview, her philosophy, expressed dramatically in her novels Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, embodies the ideals stated by the Founding Fathers in the Declaration of Independence and sets forth the requirements necessary to achieve a flourishing life. She called her philosophy objectivism and said it was a philosophy for living on Earth. Today, decades after her death, objectivism continues to stir debate and inspire passion for the spirit of individualism and the enduring American dream.
Honey, please pass me my cocktail.
Here you go, babe. Sunset sure is pretty after a long day at the beach.
I could get used to living life in swimwear.
We can start booking our next trip tomorrow while sitting around at the pool.
You've been pretty lucky that you've been able to spend some quality time in the sun. Something that you may not be so lucky with is the fact that 1 in 5 people will develop skin cancer in their lifetime. At Dermatology and Plastic Surgery Associates, they know that most people are unaware of the effects that a lifetime of sun can have on their skin. If you've been sunburned in your lifetime, it's time to have your skin checked out. Call Dermatology and Plastic Surgery Associates at 855-560-SKIN. or visit skinhealthpros.com. The doctors at Dermatology and Plastic Surgery Associates have your skin health covered. Skin cancer kills, so today's the day to get your skin checked. Dermatology and Plastic Surgery Associates, 855-560-SKIN. or visit skinhealthpros.com. Healthy skin, healthy body, healthy, happy you.
The stories we're following this morning include what's going on north of the border in Wisconsin. It's presidential primary day. Fox with the latest on that development. Chicago aldermen have been briefed on a police brutality settlement. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lisa Brady. Wisconsin's turn in the wild 2016 race.
I wish candidates would stop some of the personal attacks and really talk about the issues, but overall, I think it's an exciting time, and it's definitely bringing people out who haven't been out before to vote.
Some predicting record turnout for today's primary. Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso live in Milwaukee.
Lisa, state officials tell us that early voting returns are up 600% here, with a lot more Wisconsin voters now casting ballots at what's become a crucial primary, where Republican Ted Cruz leads Donald Trump.
Jeff filed this moments ago.
State officials tell us that early voting returns are up 600%, with a lot more Wisconsin voters now casting ballots, and with Republican Ted Cruz now leading Donald Trump.
Nominating Donald Trump would be a disaster.
You will look back and you will say it was the single greatest vote you've ever cast. That's when our country became great again.
And on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders, who leads Hillary Clinton here, is also expecting to pull off a win in a state where just months ago he trailed Clinton by 50 points. In Milwaukee, Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The fiery crash of a sightseeing helicopter in the Tennessee mountains is under federal investigation. Fox Radio's Tanya J. Powers with this live.
The NTSB is looking into what caused the chopper to come down, killing 5 people when it crashed at the foot of a mountain yesterday afternoon. It happened near Sevierville, about 3 miles away from Dolly Parton's Dollywood theme park. The Bell 206 helicopter was destroyed by fire after the crash. Witnesses say they heard a loud boom, then saw an explosion. No homes were damaged. No one on the ground was hurt, Lisa.
Thanks, Tanya. A suspected new ISIS video names London, Berlin, and Rome as possible targets. It mentions Paris and Brussels and includes footage of recent attacks. Just ahead of the opening bell, the Dow futures are down 115. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Mostly sunny skies. We have 31 degrees. 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. A worker is dead, 3 hurt after a beam collapses at a Des Plaines construction site. The beam fell just after 3 a.m. at the I-90 bridge over Toohey Avenue, where construction was taking place. The 2 inbound lanes of I-90 were tied up through the morning. Toohey Avenue is expected to be closed for several hours as well. A man is dead after being struck by a semi in the southwest suburb of New Lenox. Truck collides with Ralph Sharp yesterday along I-80. State police are investigating why the victim was on the roadway. An investigation is underway after police say a woman tried to abduct a 10-year-old girl in Aurora. Child telling officers the suspect approached her yesterday morning while she was waiting for a ride to school. A teenage girl recovering after she was assaulted in Hinsdale. Police say a man knocked the teen to the ground yesterday near the intersection of Hinsdale Avenue and Clay. Girl was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Chicago police appear to be spending a lot of money in overtime. Sun-Times says the department's spent a record $116 million in overtime in 2015. Chicago Alderman says Mayor Rahm Emanuel's staff is briefing city council members about his recommendation to settle for $4.9 million federal lawsuit brought by the family of a man who died after police subdued him with a stun gun, then dragged him from his jail cell. The meetings follow the December release of a video 2012 incident in which an officer shot 38-year-old Philip Coleman with that stun gun, and another officer dragged him from the cell by his handcuffed wrists. Chicago sports, Major League Baseball opening day on the West Coast. White Sox over Oakland 4-3. Cubs beat the LA Angels 9-0. And the news is a service of Burger King's Extra Long Philly Cheeseburger. Get a better Philly cheese with the new Extra Long Philly Cheeseburger from Burger King. 2 flame-grilled patties side by side, onions, cheese, and a cheesy sauce. Now just 2 for $5. Try the new Extra Long Philly Cheeseburger only at Burger King. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Olive Garden restaurants were busier in recent months. Darden Restaurants, the parent company of Olive Garden, reported weaker earnings for the winter quarter, but says sales were better than expected, especially at Olive Garden. Darden also owns Longhorn Steakhouse restaurants, which had slightly disappointing sales. The drugstore chain Walgreens Boots Alliance is reporting a weaker than expected winter quarter. Intel's CEO Brian Kersanich will be one of 5 judges on the new competition TV show America's Greatest Makers. It's being funded by Intel. Twitter could be a way to watch Thursday Night Football. Reports say Twitter is the leading bidder for the games. Verizon, Yahoo, Amazon, and Facebook were also bidding for the NFL Thursday night games. Companies are looking to attract cord cutters, former cable TV subscribers who are going online for their programming. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity warns of a third-party challenge.
The Washington Post today is claiming that a group of, quote, conservative leaders got together this morning to plot a third-party challenge if Donald Trump gets the nomination. I would argue, and I'm saying this respectfully, this is a death wish. This is a plan to help elect Hillary. This is a circular firing squad.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Filter Engineers. How can we help you?
Hi, I'm Mike, Chief Engineer at the big building on South Wabash. I wanted to let you know that ever since I started using your company to provide my air filters, everything's been great. We have less people calling in sick because of the improved air quality, energy bills have gone down, and your customer service and deliveries have been excellent. You guys really make my job easier.
We try hard, Mike. Is there anything we can help you with today?
No, it's just that my mother told me not to say anything unless I have something good to say. This is the first time I've been able to speak today.
Ah, it's 4 o'clock.
I know. Thanks for listening.
Mention you heard this ad on AM 560 when you call Air Filter Engineers and get free delivery. 630-384-0400. That's 630-384-0400. Or find them online at filterexperts.com. That's filterexperts.com. Air Filter Engineers, providing Chicagoland with cleaner air.
If you want to work until you drop, reduce your standard of living in retirement, or lose more of your hard-earned money in the stock market, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to generate a steady, predictable income, I'm talking real wealth and financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. A free report is now available that reveals the money-making secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. It reveals how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and wealth-building power without risking your money in the Wall Street casino. To get your free special report, visit bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com.
Here's an idea. Instead of waiting for your boss to give you a raise, give yourself one by refinancing your mortgage with Quicken Loans. You could add hundreds of dollars each month to your bottom line, like a boss. Call 800-QUICKEN today or visit us online at QuickenLoans.com. A Quicken Loans refinance gives you the financial power to enhance your life and pursue your passion. Our passion is client service. Here's the proof. For 6 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN and buy in. Again, that number is 800-QUICKEN. Quicken Loans. Home buy, refi, power. Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
It is 8:08 in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. The very latest this morning with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Well, Toohey remains shut down in displays between Wolf and Lee after that construction incident this morning, and there are lanes still closed on the eastbound Adams Tollway at Toohey. 2 left lanes blocked. It's a big backup starting past 53 around Gulf Road. Westbound jammed from around Cumberland on the Kennedy to Toohey, where 1 left lane is blocked. There's an additional westbound delay Meacham to Roselle Road, where there's a crash in the right lane and ongoing construction. The Edens runs 30 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. The Kennedy, now an hour from O'Hare to downtown, how about 45 minutes? The Eisenhower, an hour and 45 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, there's a crash at Racine in the right lane, an hour 20 from Manheim. How about an hour and 5 minutes to Thorndale? Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. The ride is 40 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. 80 years of quality mechanical solutions for your business. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, thickening clouds with a high 45. Tonight, breezy with occasional rain, low 39. Mostly cloudy with showers tomorrow, windy and milder with a high 57. Then a shower in spots at night, low tomorrow night, 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
30 at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Aging Info Radio. Heard Sunday mornings at 9, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Deb Rowe in for Dan and Amy. We'll hear from them from Cabo and 2 Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. Deb, when's the last time you saw a production of Macbeth? When's the last time?
Oh,
like
gosh.
never, right?
No, in college.
Well, you can get out of here and go wash your hands or something because the guy we're going to have on now, Kevin Williamson of National Review, wrote an article, an essay or whatever in the New Criterion about like the 18 or 40 productions of Macbeth he's seen. I think one of them had like Eddie Murphy playing all the roles. Am I right about that, Kevin Williamson? Am I right about Eddie Murphy being in one of those productions?
I was Alan Cumming playing all the roles.
I know one of those guys.
That's more believable, by the way, Kevin. Thank you.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, I think it was something like 60 Macbeths I saw.
Wow.
60 Macbeths. That's, and also if you follow Kevin on Twitter, he will like correct people who misuse careening versus careering. They're different.
I care about that one.
Yeah, I care about that too. So, Kevin, you're the greatest Trump basher of them all, as far as I'm concerned, and there are a lot of them. And I didn't want to misquote you because there was one that you'd written in National Review a week or so ago, and you'd mentioned our fair city and the Trump Tower, and I didn't want to garble up the quote at all, so I Googled you and Trump and bashing and all that, and there were like 400 mentions in Google, so I couldn't, I didn't know which one. It was a needle in a haystack. Was trying to find like a pearl of wisdom in a Trump word salad, pardon the mixed metaphor. So can you quote yourself and tell us what you said about Trump?
I think I said he's a little like that ugly building in Chicago with his name on it. There's a vacancy on the top.
Hi-yo. Deb, you got to read this. I mean, I know Deb, by the way, is going to vote for Trump no matter what. Me, I'm going to vote for him, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to.
So what difference does it make, really? Go ahead, Kevin.
So today.
And you should both be disenfranchised in that vote.
By the way, we have to pause right now to sell a dog vitamin,
but
Kevin.
You know what? Wait, Kevin, I have a question for you, really. So
Yeah.
let's say that Trump does get the nomination. Let's just say hypothetically. Are you saying that you would not vote for him?
Yes, of course not going to vote for him. I wouldn't vote for him under any circumstances. He'd be running against Satan. I wouldn't vote for him. You've got a positive duty in that situation. When you vote for something, you're not just voting against something. You are giving your assent. And if you vote for Trump, you're a bad citizen.
All right, so I want to get the full metal Kevin Williamson. Come on, this is your chance. This is talk radio. I mean, not like you don't get it in any other forum, but go ahead, lay into Donald Trump. And do you want any music underneath this? What do you want, Kevin? Go. It's your dance card, please.
Do I want music underneath?
Whatever. I mean, what do you need?
Do you have any Motorhead, or is it too early in the
morning? Do we have
morning
any Motorhead here? I don't think it's
maybe some Slayer.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Donald Trump is essentially the candidate of anger and resentment and stupidity. And one of the things I've learned from this campaign is that I had underestimated by a significant margin how prevalent that is in American politics and on my side. I figured the sort of resentment vote to be around, 7%, something like that. And that was kind of my general experience. Looks like it's more like 30. And I think that's been a really disheartening development. I think the fact that Donald Trump has been taken seriously at all by the American electorate is a terrible judgment on us as a people.
Well, Kevin, I don't think you're taking seriously the deep resentment.
Deb, don't go there. Seriously.
I am going to go there. I can tell, Kevin, he's not going to beat me up because I disagree with him.
I'm hiding behind your skirt right now.
I think that it's more than people feeling that they are they've been locked out of the success of all that America has to offer. I think people are really frustrated with lies and deceptions that professional politicians have given them time and time and time again. And
right. So if but hold on a second.
Yeah.
So your answer to we're upset with liars is to back a guy who is a habitual liar, who lies every other sentence out of his mouth.
Actually, that's not the answer.
Well,
here's the answer. Here's the answer.
But that is who you're supporting. You're supporting a guy who can't tell the truth about anything, about the company, about how many people he employs, about his family situation, anything.
All right,
here's the guy who actually lies every other sentence.
All right, here's the thing. The whole abortion thing, in a nutshell, I wouldn't have minded it if he had said, because he was thinking out loud on the whole thing. You could tell. And if he had said, I think the woman should be punished because, she is committing, like, she's killing somebody, but then changed his mind and admitted that he made a mistake. But by the end of it, his final statement was, I'm making a clarification. It wasn't a clarification. He'd done 3 reversals. He was Willy Wonka, strike that again, stat, and reverse it. So that's a problem with him.
Yeah, and the other thing is, regardless of how you stand on abortion, how do you get to be 70 years old and not know what you think about it and run for president?
Because he's not a politician.
How the hell? Well, I don't care. Are you a human being? How the hell do you get to be 70 years old and not know what you think about butchering children?
Especially if you're running for president.
Yeah, and you're running for, and he's run for president before. Let's not overlook that. He was on the phone party.
He knows what he feels about it.
Kevin, I'm sorry, we have to go, but we have to sell some dog vitamins here.
Your segments are too short.
Kevin Williamson,
Thank you,
National.
Kevin.
You got to read them all the time and go see Macbeth and report back to Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thanks very much,
Kevin Williamson.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Well, you're my hero, Deb. I mean, you take Kevin Williamson. He's a tough guy. Now it's time for a look at the weather with Deb Rowe.
Yep. Today, thickening clouds, a high of 45 tonight, increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder. Expect a high of 56 degrees. And I expect to hear Jim Talamonte right now. Tell us about traffic.
Well, thank you, Deborah. Good morning. Good morning, Bruce. Des Plaines, Touhy Avenue is still closed between Wolf and Lee after an early morning construction incident at Touhy and Wolf. And there are lane closures because of this on the eastbound Adams Tollway. It's jammed. Gulf Road to Touhy, where 2 left lanes are closed. Westbound jammed from the Kennedy Expressway to Touhy with 1 left lane blocked. And on the Kennedy, inbound delays start at Foster. It's now an hour from O'Hare to downtown, 40 minutes from Montrose, 35 on the Express. Outbound 25 to Montrose, 45 to the airport. Edens, 35 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. The Eisenhower's brutal. An hour and 45 minutes Thorndale to downtown, an hour and 20 minutes from Manheim. Outbound an hour and 5 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson an hour and 5 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. To Ryan, it is 40 minutes from 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State stop and go from 95th much of the way to 31st and from Roosevelt to North Avenue. Eastbound Reagan Tollway slow Randall to Eola, Yackley to the Veterans Memorial Tollway, and York to the Tri-State Veterans Memorial slow 75th to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Well, the school year is coming to an end, and so even though your kids aren't thinking about the next school year, you should be, especially if you want to send your child to a private school. You might think that there's no way you could ever afford to do that. Well, we want to tell you about halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you'll find dozens of local private schools that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price. There's no catch. It's very simple. Find a school near you, purchase the tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. HalfPriceSchools.com has schools located all across Chicagoland, including schools in Roselle, Chicago, Arlington Heights, Villa Park, and Crystal Lake. Start thinking about back to school today. This might make private school a real option for your family for the first time, but don't wait. Many of these vouchers will sell out before class resumes this fall. Visit HalfPriceSchools.com today. That's HalfPriceSchools.com.
Now that spring has arrived, it's likely you're looking forward to the warmer weather. But if you're a business owner, facilities manager, or maintenance engineer, you risk the same potential problem every year. A complete system failure. In fact, up to half of all commercial air conditioning units fail upon startup each season due to the lack of regular maintenance and repair. Let the professionals at Air Comfort make a comprehensive assessment of your mechanical system before there's a problem. A poorly operating air conditioning system results in uneven temperatures and humidity problems, leading to unhealthy mold and mildew growth. Don't compromise your business's overall air quality. Schedule today with Air Comfort. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Even if you're under contract with another provider, let Air Comfort provide your second opinion. After all, there's a reason why hundreds of businesses have trusted Air Comfort with their mechanical maintenance for more than 80 years. That's Air Comfort, a tradition of excellence since 1935. Tasty Catering is bringing outdoor happiness to you and your coworkers in a variety of forms this picnic season.
Down-home barbecue, street tacos, sausages and sandwiches, steaks, chops, fish, Greek feasts, pig roasts, the list goes on.
Tasty Catering picnic foods are getting more deliciously sophisticated than ever, too, which means you can meet everyone's needs with even more great picnic food options.
Organic, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, and dairy-free options never tasted so picnicky.
Your picnic doesn't stop with amazing freshly grilled food, entertainment, rentals, decor, venue selection. Get everything you need with one single call to Tasty Catering.
Inflatables and crafts for the kids, games and athletics for the teenagers, beverage packages and entertainment options for the adults. There's so much to choose from.
The best company picnics start at tastycatering.com. View picnic menus, entertainment options, picnic spots, and more when you visit tastycatering.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Buenos dias.
Wow, you have such a command of the language. We are at Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf and Spa Resort in beautiful Mexico on our Escape to Cabo trip, presented by Dermatology and Plastic Surgery and Associates and by Artistic Dentistry.
And we want to thank Apple Vacations for making this trip possible. We're here all week. We've been speaking with a lot of our listeners who decided to have fun and come along. And one that's here, a repeat offender, I like to call him, the mayor, Garrett.
I love Garrett. You know why? Because
Yes,
he's a
he's-
cigar smoker. He's a cigar aficionado like myself.
Garrett, why'd you come back?
Because it's a wonderful time.
The simplest answers are always the correct answers. Yes, exactly.
What do you like about this resort, Secrets Puerto Los Cabos, compared to others?
This resort is great. It's probably the nicest one. It is the nicest one by far. It's just great, and it has a golf course adjacent to it, which I can't wait to get on.
Yeah, Garrett and I are going to play.
Well, here's the deal. You and I, you're going with 3 people. I'm going with 3 people. I wanted Garrett on my team
Oh, well, we're going to have to fight over Garrett. We're gonna
because
have
you
to
two are
have-
cigar smokers. So maybe I'll give you to Dan. And what do I get in exchange?
Maybe I'll give you Rick over here.
Rick's not golfing.
Oh, well.
Rick is our MVP, most valuable partier. Yes. And
You-
Rick has been on the majority of our trips.
And you're the most valuable partier because you drink heavily.
Yeah, very often, too.
And you do that because you're employed. This is just at my alma mater, Northwestern University. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you are, well, you're like the politically correct Gruppenführer down there? Or,
I am the
in
Führer
Evanston?
is a good term.
Yes. What do you do at...
Say in Führer or Führer?
What do you do at Northwestern?
I am an IT person, otherwise known in the old days as a telephone man.
I got it.
And that's what I do.
And you've been dealing with entitled, snotty rich kids at Northwestern for how many years?
Get your kids out of those overpriced totalitarian re-education centers
Finally.
now.
Yeah, there you go. There's a Northwestern employee who speaks to me.
But it makes, they send a check every 2 weeks.
I understand it. And do you live in Evanston as well?
No, I live in Des Plaines, otherwise known as Rick from Des Plaines.
Oh, of course, sure.
Suburb of Mount Prospect.
Yes, a satellite. And how much time do you spend painting the rock at Northwestern with the kids?
Which one? The ones on the waterfront or the big rock by the University Hall?
The centerpiece
the big
of the
rock,
campus.
I
yes.
spend none.
Do you interact with these snotty, politically correct, mind-addled children at Northwestern?
as little-
and I'm not talking about the students. I'm talking about the professors.
As little as possible.
Yeah. So it's the IT guys. Just they're in their own cell
Well,
on the campus.
professors are snotty, but so are the IT guys.
Oh. So is it like the IT guys and people that are like of your disposition, is it like The Great Escape where you're plotting to tunnel out of Evanston and someday be free?
There's a tunnel right there that leads back to the swim-up pool bar, and yes.
Now, I want to go back to Garrett, too. Garrett, he's a small business owner, which is a core group of our listeners.
Are you calling him short?
No.
That's okay. I don't mind.
HVAC guy. He's got an HVAC business in the northwest suburbs. Tell us about that.
My business is Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, and we've been in business since 1979. We're located in Elk Grove Village now. It used to be in Arlington Heights. It's a family-run business. Me, my son, my daughter, my other son, and, of course, my lovely wife.
How many people do you employ besides your immediate family?
Right now, besides my family, there's probably about there is 5 more people.
And how's business?
Right now, business, it's been a good year. We're doing a lot of, we also do new construction besides residential, and we've been doing a lot more commercial now, business, and I'm very fortunate. It's been a very good year so far.
Do you think that you could put in some duct work in the IT department at Northwestern that would allow Rick to tunnel out?
Only with the help of North State
I
Steel.
could do that. I just won't use screws. We'll tape everything.
North State Steel, yes.
So you can slide through easy.
What I love about Garrett is big cigar smoker. You always have one in your hand.
Yes, I do like my cigars.
Have you been to the cigar bar with your new buddy Dan?
I'm looking forward to doing that.
This is actually what makes the trip fun is guys like Garrett and Rick, AM 560 listeners, professionals in their own right, having a good time in paradise.
Taking a break from everyday life.
I love it. It's beautiful out here. It's just great.
Attention to what you guys say, and we love it. That's why we listen.
Just like I wrote it. Thank you very much, Rick. I appreciate that. And we're going to be here all week talking with some of our listeners like Garrett and Rick who came along, as well as some of the sponsors who have joined us.
And also, if you want to see Rick from Des Plaines and Garrett in person, check out our videos at 560theanswer.com/escape and also on the Chicago's Morning Answer Facebook page and Twitter feed, which is at Morning Answer.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
If you're serious about selling your home, now's the time. Supply is low, and it's a great seller's market in many Chicagoland neighborhoods. Now, I've done the research, and along with my Salem radio colleagues, Dennis Prager and Michael Medved, we all recommend that you call Saul. Saul Z and the Z team are so good that if they don't sell your home in 59 days, they'll sell it for free, guaranteed. Saul is ranked 106th out of 1.2 million agents by the Wall Street Journal. His proven marketing system is so effective that he sells on average a home every single day, attracting multiple full-price offers. Now, that demand helps sell your home fast at the highest price. It's a no-brainer. If I was selling a home in Chicagoland, I'd definitely call Saul. 888-346-0666 or call Saul, SAUL.net. Call Saul.net or 888-346-0666. You'd better call Saul.
Congratulations to all who took the Balance of Nature New Year's Challenge. Success stories are pouring in. So many people have been helped through this incentive that I have asked Balance of Nature to continue this challenge for as long as possible.
I do feel slightly better. I can't explain it. It's like underlying. I can't explain it. I broke my leg twice, my left leg, and it used to bother me, but now it's not bothering me that much. I mean, you know, I also bowl on Friday nights, and it used to kill me, but now I find that I could do that and without being in any discomfort.
Good health is just a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Call now and take the health challenge to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
I did it. I brought it with me. My pillow. I cannot live without it. I always tell people that I bring it with me on vacation, and I did. And so many listeners are convinced now that they should get a My Pillow for themselves. If you're having problems sleeping, why not try it? If you're having neck pain, back pain, headaches, insomnia, a My Pillow can make the difference. You have to try My Pillow to really experience the benefits. It's a premium pillow with 4 different loft levels to fit you. It's washable, it keeps its shape, and supports you where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. Act now and get 2 My Pillows for the price of one for you, the other is a gift. It's the best offer, so visit mypillow.com. Type Amy in that promo code, 2 for the price of 1, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up after the news, Deb's got a few things she wants to get off her chest. One of them is me, I guess, because I got my knee on her chest the entire time. And the other thing is Donald Trump. She wants to talk about Donald Trump and the China. They've got like a dog meat contest or something like that. You know, I love that cuisine, and we'll talk about that. But it's all coming up after the news with Mike Scott.
Bruce and Deb, good morning. 31 degrees. We have sunny skies for now. Polls open in Wisconsin. That state holding both a Republican and Democratic presidential primary today. On the GOP side, Donald Trump trailing Ted Cruz. Trump saying there could be a surprise tonight in the Wisconsin primary.
I've worked hard in Wisconsin. A friend of mine lives here. He says, you'll win the state if you come here. Well, I've really been here a lot and made a tremendous amount of speeches, and everything is sold out.
Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker believes Texas Senator Ted Cruz will win.
That's a big win for Ted because it's in an open caucus. It's an upper Midwestern state. We're somewhere in between Iowa and Michigan in terms of the makeup of the state of Wisconsin.
42 delegates at stake in the Republican race. Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton shake hands and make a pitch to voters in New York with a debate next week. CNN will host the battle in Brooklyn. Justice Department investigating long lines and wait times at the Arizona presidential primary. Last month's primary found voters in Maricopa County waiting up to 5 hours to cast a ballot. 5 are dead after a sightseeing helicopter crashes in eastern Tennessee near Pigeon Forge. Villanova celebrating its second men's basketball title in school history. Chris Jenkins burying a three-pointer at the buzzer, giving the Cats a win over North Carolina 77-74.
I think every shot I take is going in, so that one felt no different. I was able to catch that one right in stride.
Classes are canceled on the suburban Philadelphia campus today to celebrate. Tennessee could become the first state in the country to recognize the Bible as its official book. The state Senate approved that measure yesterday. Here in the Chicago area, a worker is dead, 3 others hurt after a beam collapses at a Des Plaines construction site. It happened just after 3 a.m. this morning at the I-90 bridge over Touhy Avenue. Chicago police appear to be spending a lot of money on overtime. Sun-Times says the department spent a record amount in 2015, $116 million. And the FBI and Chicago police are asking for the public's help in locating 5 Chicago men accused of running a counterfeit scheme that included sales of phony Bears, Cubs, Bulls, Blackhawks, and even Disney on Ice Frozen tickets. An FBI statement says 16 were charged in Operation Bear Down. 11 are in custody. Opening day baseball for the White Sox and Cubs on the West Coast. Chris Sale the win. White Sox over Oakland 4-3. Jake Arrieta, a dominating performance in the Cubs victory. A shutout of the Angels 9-0. The news, a service of CiCi's Pizza, ready for an adventure in flavor. CiCi's brings 3 new flatbread pizzas to the unlimited buffet. Try the new Spinach Alfredo, Chicken Bacon Club, and Honey Barbecue Chicken. More flavor to explore for the same great value. Just $5 and change, only at CiCi's. Better believe it. 8:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees a free-for-all at the GOP convention.
What happens if Trump doesn't get to 1,237? The rules confirm there will be additional balloting. You got to cross the finish line. If you don't, you're not the nominee, and they get to keep voting until they get one. And it still may be Trump or Cruz, but I have a hunch it won't be. Now, that's just my gut.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
It's Galaxy's free sale. Free installation, free design, and free financing.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
The only significant, among all the vitamins I changed, nothing affected cholesterol. I took this and my cholesterol dropped by 15 or 20%.
Yeah, with the acid reflux, and I have GERD and gastritis, and it really seems to be helping a lot, and my husband too. I mean, we're very happy with the product, I got to say it. It's been great, and we've seen dramatic results, so I can't say anything bad about it. We've really been happy with the product. We've been amazed with it.
There is a value in it because it has fruits and veggies, and I'm not a fruit and veggies eater, and I know this is helpful.
Good health is just a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Call now and take the health challenge to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
It's 8:35. Let's get an update on the roads in our Guardian Security Services Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Des Plaines, Toohey remains closed between Wolf and Lee after this morning's construction incident. And lanes remain closed on the Adams Tollway eastbound. It is jammed 53 to Toohey with 2 left lanes blocked. Westbound from the Kennedy to Toohey with 1 left lane closed. Then it's the Beecham to Roselle with roadwork in the right lane. There's a rollover reported at Gurnee on 132 at 41. The Edens runs 30 minutes late. Cook to Montrose outbound 35. Kennedy 55 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 35. The Eisenhower absolutely brutal from York Road to Racine where there was a crash. It is now 2 hours from Thorndale to downtown. An hour 35 from Manheim. Outbound an hour and 5 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. The Rhine is 40 minutes from 95th to the Loop. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. We'll have sunshine this morning, clouds on the increase for the afternoon, high 45. Windy overnight with rain showers developing, a low of 40. Currently 31 at O'Hare. Next news at 9. And with Dan and Amy, listeners, and pretty much the whole crew in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Deborah Rowe on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella. Heard each and every Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Deb Rowe in for Dan and Amy, who are in Cabo, enjoying themselves. And Deb, I remind me, because I'm wrecking the format here, I am supposed to do Hillary bashing on the 7s.
That was on the 7s.
And
actually, it was on the 8s.
Okay, and Obama bashing on the 9s. Can I just quickly get in this Hillary bashing?
Donald Trump has said that wages are too high. He's fired. That's funny.
Did you hear that cackle at the end there?
I was going to say, it was nothing funny about that laugh.
It was Wicked Witch of the Westian. It's really something.
All right, I want to clean up some things here. Is that okay?
Well, the windows are a little bit...
You are an evil man.
That's really bad. I just told a black woman to clean my windows. Okay.
He's bad.
All right, I'm on suspension for the next minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here we go. A couple of things. One, when we had the guest earlier on, Brad Thor, I knew nothing about him.
The author, Brad Thor.
Yes.
Hey, I got to admit something. I've never read any of his books.
You have got to be kidding.
No, I started reading one of them, and it was fantastic. I'm the kind of person, I get to like page 87 of Saul Bellow. I got to a page 137 of the Brothers Karamazov, and then I quit.
I thought you turned to the last page and just skim it and say, okay, I read that.
Yeah.
This guy, I looked at his book list. I'm going to start reading his books, but I didn't get a chance. He got a real good one in about Trump, and I just felt that when he talked about Trump,
I know what you were going to say.
Making fun of that guy.
You were going to say the jerk store called and they ran out of you. It's too late, Deb.
It's never too late.
All right, go ahead.
Here's the thing.
Give a rejoinder to Brad Thor, who isn't here to defend himself. Go ahead.
I couldn't even get a response in there because we didn't have time.
All right.
I am
you
not
sound like
convinced.
Kasich.
I'm not convinced at all that Donald Trump was making fun of that reporter with the disability.
Right.
And it's really important that I get that
He was
out.
born with fetal alcoholism.
That's right. I think that it's really more likely that he was imitating him. And people don't seem to know the difference. There's a difference.
When you imitate somebody who's got like a
what
disability?
That's the part about Trump that people get. He's not going to be politically correct. He was addressing the fact that this guy had written that Muslims were celebrating after 9/11. When Trump says that, the guy starts to deny it. I didn't say it was thousands. I didn't say it was hundreds. And Trump is mimicking him, saying, oh, so now he doesn't know, blah, blah, blah. And there's a real difference between making fun of someone and imitating someone who was denying what they had previously said.
Handled like Thomas Aquinas, showing us the distinction between Aristotelian logic and Catholic doctrine.
Thank you, baby.
You're unbelievable.
Now, here's the other cleanup real quickly, because
Go
we
right
have
ahead.
calls and we have another topic.
By the way, our telephone number is 312-642-5600. That's the turnkey.pro answer line. I'm just your servant here. I just give the time and the temp. Go ahead.
Only for the last 20 minutes, the first 3.5 hours. That's all I get to do.
This third-rate radio announcer.
Here's the thing.
Sure.
Earlier, Bruce, you were really snarky. You were like, oh, there's no way that Trump didn't help the inquirers. This is all about Trump when Megyn was asking Cruz, had he had an affair?
Sure.
And I said to
or
you...
5 affairs. Yes,
oh,
but
yeah,
go ahead.
that's right. And I said to you, no, I don't think Trump had anything to do with the Inquirer deal. The Inquirer, they are very good at finding out...
He's just friends with the...
Now,
wait a
I'm
minute.
going to prove my point.
Donald Trump, who claims that everybody else is a sellout, that he's self-financing. Everybody else is a sellout because they buy him off. He is not bought off or buys off people like the Inquirer. But go right ahead. Go ahead.
He doesn't need to buy off the Inquirer. You know why? Because the Inquirer has a track record. In 1996 presidential campaign, in the 96 presidential
Is this John
campaign.
Edwards?
No, it was Bob Dole. They broke the story that Dole had a mistress in the late 60s and the early 70s.
Did he?
Yes. And
Sorry, I only could use my
let
left
me go
hand.
ahead. It was the Inquirer that broke the story
believe I said
that Gary Hart had a girlfriend named Donna Rice, and they were on the island of Bimini on a boat called Monkey Hustle. Nobody else covered that.
It was the Inquirer
that
who
broke
told
that story.
us that the Earth was being taken over by Gort
wrong.
Klaatu Barado Nikto.
It was the Inquirer that told us that John Edwards had a love child despite all of his denial. Now,
It's the Inquirer who's telling us that Oprah is dying tomorrow. But go ahead.
Here's my point, though. Personally, I don't think any of that has a place in the campaign, and I don't even think it should be there. Should be there. I'm getting all jumbled up because I'm just so frustrated that people keep saying, "Well, it was Donald Trump."
Speaking
that
of
broke
frustration, did you see the Onion story about the North Carolina student who was frustrated because he couldn't watch the national championship game because he was too busy studying for the exams he was going to be taking for the players? And
Get out of here.
by the way, go
Let's get some
Villanova. All
calls.
right, we're going to take. No, we don't have time. You
We
talk.
don't.
We'll take some calls
All right.
after the break. You people on hold, we may get to some of you. Bruce Wolf and Deb Rowe in for Dan and Amy.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And oops. Beep, 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 beep. Now it's time for the weather.
All right, look out. Thickening clouds today with a high of 45. Tonight, increasingly windy with occasional rain and a low of 40. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers, windy and milder. A high today of 56. Hey, Jim Talamonte, what's happening on the roads?
Well, Deborah, it's a real mess on the eastbound Adams Tollway still from 53 to 2E. 2 left lanes are blocked due to a construction incident which happened early this morning at 2E and Wolf. 2E remains shut down between Wolf and Lee. There are huge delays eastbound and heavy delays westbound from the Kennedy to 2E where 1 left lane is closed. Because of this, many people have used the Eisenhower as an alternate, but the Eisenhower inbound at Racine, there was a crash. Now cleared. The damage is done. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes from Thorndale to downtown. An hour and 35 minutes from Manheim. Outbound an hour to Thorndale and 40 minutes to get to Manheim. Edens, 30 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 35. The Kennedy, 55 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 35 minutes. The Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. Ryan's heavy at 40 minutes. 95th to downtown, outbound 25. Crash on the Bishop Ford at King Drive from the right lane. Northbound Tri-State still very slow from the Mile Long Bridge to 31st. And from Roosevelt through the Grand Avenue curve. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Guardian Security Services Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, Stan Proft, every year you make New Year's resolutions, but do you lack the energy and motivation to tackle them? Maybe it's caused by low T. Low testosterone levels can make you feel tired and less motivated to do the things you want to accomplish. If you've been feeling like a grumpy old man lately, it's time to get your testosterone level checked at Low T Center. It's quick, easy, and with their on-site lab, you'll know your results in minutes. I did. Plus, their services are covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and irritable and can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and the risks of testosterone replacement. Low T Center even has convenient and flexible hours. So start tackling your New Year's resolutions and call Low T Center today and tell them Dan Proft sent you. Call 630-409-4305. That number, 630-409-4305, or visit lowtcenter.com. That website, lowtcenter.com.
Every time you pull up to your home, you notice it. Your neighbors probably notice it too. Your paint is chipping, peeling, fading. You gonna paint your home yourself? I don't think so. Gonna pay someone else every few years to paint? That makes no sense. The solution? Rhino Shield. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that comes with a 25-year warranty. Bottom line, with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint your home again. Guaranteed. It's perfect for wood, brick, stucco, vinyl, and steel. And unlike vinyl, it won't mold or mildew. Call for your free estimate. 847-371-0400. It's more affordable than you think. Call 847-371-0400.
No paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Call Rhino Shield for your free estimate and never paint your home again. 847-371-0400. 847-371-0400. That's 847-371-0400.
The following is a paid political announcement.
When did Republicans lose their backbone, their guts, their conviction? Some will say they stood up to Obama. That's easy. But who stood up to their own party? That's Marlin Stutzman. Marlin said no to the establishment by voting against John Boehner. And he fought sweetheart deals on both sides by voting against the omnibus. Because politicians refuse to get it done, Marlin authored the only conservative budget that actually balances. And to keep the Washington crowd from getting cozy, Marlin is fighting for term limits to toss the career politicians out. It's not good enough to just vote for candidates who say they're conservative. We need leaders who have the guts to act like one. Marlin knows when Republicans bend, America breaks. Stand strong, Marlin. Conservative Marlin Stutzman for Senate.
I'm Marlin Stutzman, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Stutzman for Senate.
AM 560, The
Answer. Bruce Wolf and Devereaux. Yeah, we've turned it into Air America and disco music because we're in charge right now. We're the Alexander Haigs.
This is post-disco, by the way.
Oh, boy. I mean, the distinctions are unbelievable. You know, if you want to host 87.7 FM on Saturday nights, I think that's their format right now. I love 87.7. I know I shouldn't mention this.
What's that? Was she?
No. That is, it's the music from November of 1967 to January of 1968. As Dave Stewart, who does news here every once in a while, I guess, in the afternoons, said those were some really groovy months. That's it. Groovy. It's really concentrated. All right, we got to take some calls right here. And Sean?
The reason why Trump said Kasich needs to get out, I mean, think about what this guy said. He said he needs to get out because he's getting my votes, and I want to have my votes. This is not fair.
Now, that's the obligatory Trump bashing on the 8s. Now, Sean, I got to tell you, are you there?
Well,
okay, here's the thing. I only 45 seconds because I got to get to the other people.
All right, well, stop talking. Kasich should get out because he was a Lehman Brother hack. That's why he should get out. Now, Deborah,
yes.
I'm going to tell you something about your guy here. Mm-hmm. When you get together in a meeting, and from meeting one, and we're going to talk about Trump University, from meeting one, your plot is to take advantage of the unsophisticated and the desperate scumbag. And this argument that the ends justify the means is every mobster, every murderer, every two-bit hustler. Because here's the thing, Deborah. Mm-hmm. There are no ends. There are only means. Ends are subjective. It is the means of your life that make up who you are, that make up your soul. And when you deceive the old and the young and the unsophisticated, you are a scumbag, one and all. And that is your guy, Trump. Whether he's making fun of a crippled or he's taking advantage of desperate retirees or young people in a clear scam called the Trump University. That is who he is.
All right, that's
Sean,
57 seconds, by the way.
Well, by the way.
Oh, yes. Fly on his corporate jet.
But you know
by
what?
The way.
You know what? In 57 seconds,
yeah.
He came up with like at least 10 fortune cookies worth of wisdom.
But
so that's pretty darn good.
Here's the thing. He's saying all of that about Trump as, he's my guy. He's my guy if he gets the nomination. I want to keep saying that. But what's so different about what all of these other politicians have done? They take advantage of the poor.
They brings it up to a next level.
Steal our money.
Let's go to Kurt. Kurt from Park Ridge. Hi, Kurt.
Hi. First, I want to say I voted for Ted Cruz, and I love Sean from Menlo Park, but he's dead wrong. You know, if Trump's elected president, there's a chance he puts up a wall. There's a chance he lowers taxes. There is a chance he gets rid of the corporate tax cuts. There's a chance he builds up our military and we attack the enemy and call them by their name. If Hillary's elected, there's no chance of any of that.
There's also a chance. There's also a chance that we pay $45 for a toothbrush at Walmart.
But
Have
you
you
know
thought
what?
about that?
Kurt is so right. I don't get these people that say, if Trump's in, I don't vote. Well, then you take Hillary and you deserve her.
David from Lake Villa, or Lake Villa, is that how you pronounce it, David?
It's Lake Villa.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm sick to death with all of you Trump bashers because you never, and that includes Dan Proft and Amy, whatever her last name is, you never say why anyone should vote
Amy
for that moron,
Stebick.
Ted
Her last name
Cruz.
is Amy Stebick.
And I'll tell you why we need to know about the D.C. madam and his 5 mistresses is because nobody asks this guy any questions. He copies every single one of Trump's positions. Next thing you know, he's going to be saying that he can get rid of the national debt in 8 years. This guy is a total copycat. He's a fraud. He's a globalist. He's going to turn our country into a third world nation, just like Rubio, just like Kasich, and just like all the rest of those rhino Republicans who've wrecked our country.
David, one more thing. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Go ahead.
You asshole.
See what happens there.
Hit the
Here's
delay.
thing,
Hit the
though.
delay.
Dave,
Hit the delay.
Here's the thing.
Did you hit the
Dave
delay?
is right. Cruz never mentioned immigration or a wall or anything until Trump brought it up.
Okay.
Go.
Ralphie baby from Rantoul. Hello, Ralph.
Good morning. A bit of zen here. You know, it is true that Donald Trump appears to have received sensitivity training from Don Rickles.
Hi-yo.
But beyond that, I think that if a candidate has committed adultery, let's not smear it, you know, along with the other frog baby stories that go on the front page of the Inquirer and the Weekly World News or whatever. But if a candidate has done something like that, then you know what? It's a matter of character. Character counts.
Character does
I don't.
count.
You know, I don't care about character. You know why? I mean, Brian Urlacher. You know, when he was had an out of wedlocker child or something like that. All I cared about was how he played linebacker for the Chicago Bears.
True. And if the White House had a football team, he'd be good for it. But I wouldn't vote him for president.
Touche, Ralphie
one, Ralph.
baby.
Good
All right,
one.
let's go to Homer Glenn from Pete. Oh no, that's Pete from Homer Glenn.
Hey.
Hey, Pete. Yes.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Bruce, hey, I just want to know, I think you're a Cruz zealot, just like a lot of these other...
No, I voted for Rubio. I threw away my vote to Rubio. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to know how you square the circle with Cruz. He's in a debate, and he's lecturing Trump about the benefits of free trade and how costs are going to go up.
I'm applauding you, by the way.
If we put a tariff on China, and he puts out an ad in Wisconsin that I heard on the radio driving up when I was in Bannockburn about how all of a sudden he's for fair trade and he's going to get tough on China. This guy is no.
So you think he's a little slippery?
He
Thank you,
copies
Pete.
Trump.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Pete. He's okay. And let's go to Mark from Valparaiso, Indiana. Wait.
Yeah, I'm right
Okay,
there.
go ahead,
Hey,
yeah,
Mark.
Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, I just say, Sean, I agree with a lot of stuff he says, even on the stuff, on other shows. But the bottom line is that, hey, I'm going to vote for Trump. If he gets the nomination, he's the guy, man. I'm not going to let Hillary run a country. Look what they've done to us.
You're going to vote for a guy. Wait, hold a second. You're going to vote for a guy who, before Antonin Scalia died, criticized Scalia's version or view of affirmative action. He may put in a Supreme Court justice who's more liberal than Merrick Garland, who, by the way, grew up in the suburb next to me and is a year older and scored 400 points more than I did on the SAT.
The bottom line is he may do that, but Hillary will do that.
Exactly,
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so
She
much.
will do
Let's
it.
go to Mike from Oswego. Sunday, where the great ones run at Oswego.
Hello, Mike.
Here's a perfect example why none of this matters at all. Because Mark Kirk still made it through the primaries with a record number of Trump voters showing up, which shows that these people have absolutely no idea who the establishment is and what's going on in politics. And as soon as whoever it is becomes
That's
president,
why Joe Walsh
these
should have
people are
run
gonna
for
go
Senate.
back
Boy,
into
I
oblivion.
sure
you
wish
make
that
the
Joe Walsh had run for
presumption
Senate.
that Mark
God, I
Kirk
wish that.
received only votes from Trump supporters. We have no evidence of that.
All right, we're. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry I cut you off. Dave from Roselle. Hello, Dave.
Hey, how are you, Bruce?
Good.
And Deborah.
Hey, Dave.
I just wanted to say that everyone that talks about Trump and he wants to make good deals with China, Mexico, and things like that. Obviously, what is it? We don't know, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to, like the rest of the group that's been in there for the last, 30 years is just basically give up everything. Yeah, we're free traders, and, we have leverage over these people.
No, you know what it's like, Dave? Here's what's going to happen. Here's what I think Trump's going to do, because forget the art of the deal. You can negotiate anything by Herb Cohn, which came years before that. When you make a lot of, you go to the suit guy, and the Men's Warehouse or whatever, and you buy $500 or $1,000 worth of suits, which is basically the whole warehouse. You say, can you throw in a tie? That's what he wants to tell China. Can you throw in a tie? And not Thailand, but throwing a tie.
No, that's what Bush and that's what Clinton did.
There you go, Dave. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. Deb, maybe you'll want to come back tomorrow.
I'll be back.
And Dan and Amy will be back tomorrow as well.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It only took 7 days to create the universe and mankind as we know it. So why does it take months on end to design, create, and complete a home remodeling project? Begin your project with Genesis Construction. Their mission, building relationships based on honesty and integrity and doing what's right for you, which means you will always find the truth in Genesis Construction. From creation to completion, Genesis Construction is able to bring in your kitchen, bathroom, or basement project on time and on budget. They're also equipped and trained to handle your commercial maintenance needs for your facility, office, or church. Genesis Construction is insured and bonded. See for yourself why Genesis Construction has a 5-star rating from Thumbtack.com. Contact Bruce Filipiak at 888-973-9016. That's 888-973-9016. Or visit beginwithgenesis.com. That's beginwithgenesis.com.
The stock market may seem like a roller coaster ride, but your finances don't have to be. You may be wondering, is there another big correction on the horizon? If so, are you prepared? Or are you at the mercy of stockbrokers if it happens? Let Online Trading Academy teach you how to navigate the stock market